Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, No E, here with Bells, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Grab a Drink.
All right, tonight we are hosting April Garcia with her band of Underground Cocina. And I found her on Instagram as Tamale_Mami. Let me look at her.
Thanks for coming on.
I'm like really nervous.
It's fine. That's what the tequila's for.
I don't know why I'm so nervous.
Man, like I said, I'm excited.
I really am.
Tamales.
I've been eyeing that tamale for a while, so she brought a sample for us too.
I like how it looks like a block. Like,
Get it?
Yeah, that's the concept behind everything.
and then the little baggie of.
Queso fresco.
Oh, wait. What?
It's queso. Right? Okay, so tell us about it. How'd you get started? What's the concept of the name? It's unique. I loved it, but I wanted to hear from you.
Okay, I started making tamales because I couldn't find any that I liked.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Houston, I went everywhere.
Really?
You name it, I went everywhere.
Alamo? No?
Traditional tamales, Salvadoran, Honduran, like what kind of?
Traditional
so many.
Mexican.
Okay.
My mom is from Durango, so she's from the northern part, middle part of Mexico. So
You just struck a chord.
That's where my mom is from. Yeah, we cousins.
Do you like the Duranguense? The
Yeah.
music?
Oh yeah.
So that is incorporated into like my palette. You know, that's what I want from a tamal. So I want my masa to look a certain color. I like the red tamales. I don't like anything else besides that. So I just went everywhere. I lived close to a couple of them. I'm not gonna say their names.
Okay.
It just I couldn't find what I wanted. Some were too dry. Some of them didn't have color, didn't have flavor. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try to do it because I live in Houston.
If you want something right, do it yourself.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely one of those DIY persons, please. So I was like, okay, let me learn how to make them. I called my mom and I was like, Mom, how do you make tamales? Es que le echas un poquito de esto y I was like, oh my god.
There's
talking
no,
about that too.
What was it? Who were we talking
With
about?
Jen.
Yeah, and it's there's no measuring system. It's just un poquito de esto.
Yeah, there's no measuring, and I was like, okay. It's how am I supposed to pass this on to my kids and my future and stuff like that? How am I supposed to preserve recipes that you haven't even preserved? You're using your hand right now. I'm probably going like this and like that, and I'm like, okay, well that doesn't help me.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just started researching, and I just started throwing, maseca in a bowl and seeing how it come out. It was mixed a lard, and then I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna keep experimenting. I experimented for 3 or 4 months.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is tamales the first thing you started doing, or you've had other experience in the kitchen?
Yes. So I actually took culinary classes. It's not much of a culinary school.
Okay.
Down in the valley, because that's where I'm from. South Texas College, which is just a community college,
Okay.
But I remember my parents were just not having it. They're like, "You're so smart. You could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer. Why are you doing this?" And I was like, okay. It's well, I love food. I've always loved food. I'm a tamale mommy for a reason.
No, okay.
I'm chubby, so but yeah, so I've had a lot of experience with that, but I dropped out. I'm a culinary dropout. So I was actually working for a restaurant down in the valley, and they were just because I was a supervisor for them. They're like, you need to finish your bachelor's so you can get on salary. And I was like, they're like, you can do exactly what you want. You can work in a kitchen and make just as much money as a lawyer would doing what you love. And I was like, okay. They're like, you can be a GM. And I was like, okay, sure.
Sold.
Anyway, it didn't happen. But, working for them and working in a kitchen for 5 years, definitely helped me be more organized. That company is really, they're basically the top people to come up with recipes. Every recipe has to be open whenever, they, whenever you're making a recipe, a recipe, you have to have it open on the screen. They have something called Recipe Viewer. Okay. And it's crazy, how meticulous it is to work there as a prep person.
It builds consistency.
Yeah, and then it's that consistency. I always search for, because I'm just like my mom. I hate recipes. She hates recipes. And I felt like every time I followed a recipe at home, something would go wrong. And I'm just like, okay, like maybe I should just wing it every time. But then when it came to like something like tamales or menudo or any of that stuff, it's just like, it's intimidating because it's like, you are Hispanic, you're first generation. Your mom is known in the family as the one that makes the tamales, the one that makes the menudo, the menuelos. She leads all of that.
So you have that to live up to.
Yeah, and it's really hard, because I remember my sister made some when she lived in Laredo. Like, she was living in Laredo without like any of us, any family nearby. So she made some for Christmas, and I remember we went.
Pretty good job. Oh.
So like tasting her tamales, I was just like, I was tasting the tamales, and my mom was like, but we had to be nice. So I was like, oh God, like if I ever make tamales, like this is what I'm gonna have.
You know what
to
came to mind? Like that scene in Gladiator where like Caesar's like just.
It is exactly like that. So
Man.
I mean, given my kitchen background,
So much pressure though.
yeah, and then given like the background that I have with my mom, it was just like, okay, like I'm really gonna learn how to do this. So it took me like 3 months to kind of get it down, and I was like, okay, it's like, it's not tamale season more. I don't want any tamales. So I was like, okay, I just put it away. And then a year later, I was like, you know what? I just stopped working for that company because of racial insensitivity.
Okay.
In the valley?
No,
Oh.
in Houston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and it wasn't towards like Hispanics. It was towards Black people, and I'm just not the type of person. Like, I just don't stand for any of that.
Right.
So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna leave. Anyway, so then, you know, I left, and I took like a month off before I found another job. But I was like in limbo, and I was like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna try to do tamales again.
Okay.
Maybe I can sell them.
And timeline wise, what year was this?
So I want to say I quit in, I don't even know the concept of time right now. We're in 2019.
It's weird when you think about
Yeah, it's about to be done too.
So
127 days left in the year? Something like that?
Nice.
16,
Okay.
Okay.
3 years ago.
2017. 2016 is when I first learned. 2017 is when I was like, hey, maybe I can do this. And that's when I got my Instagram.
And your sister made hers in what year?
A long time ago. So I'm from a family of 7.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest.
I'm the youngest.
So you're not the mommy, you're the baby.
I'm the baby.
Oh, you're the mother baby.
Hey, that's it. Hey, get that Instagram.
Yeah, I'm the youngest. But yeah, so I was like, okay, let me do this. But
Well, that's cool. Then the fact that your sister did it before you, and you're just like picking up from them. Like you picked it from your mom, you picked it from your sister. You just, I can do better mentality.
yeah,
right?
my sister did it out of fun, you know, for fun, just so she could say that she could do it.
Right.
I guess.
Something I
And
would
to me, it was
try
just
to-
like, okay, like this is something that this is near and dear to my heart, and you know, it's not easy to do.
Right.
I do it by myself. You know, I'm there, like, you know,
And
with the whole class.
it's a time consuming process,
So it
right?
just depends. Like today, I made a batch just for y'all, and it took me like 2 hours. 3
What's
hours.
a batch?
Wow.
What do you mean? I'm
Like
thinking
2
that-
dozen.
Dozen? Okay, 2 dozen is a
Yeah.
batch. Okay.
Yeah, I left some in my fridge. Obviously.
I'm like, wait, I feel like you got shorted.
But yeah, I mean, a batch can take anywhere from 2 to 3
I'm
hours.
sorry.
I don't know if you can tell, but you can't fool me. That is not 2 dozen.
Let's get a scale. Let's weigh it. Anyway.
Man.
So on an, let's say for an event, for a pop-up event, about how many would you do?
So, since I'm still starting off with the tamales, I'm trying to ease people into them because I feel like, even though there's tamale men all over the place,
Yeah.
I still feel like people aren't like,
They're not ready.
I want tamales. Like, you know, it's not the season yet. So I'll do like 8 orders, which is for me only 2 dozen.
Okay.
Because in my pop-up, I do them by 3. And that's another thing. Another thing that I'm trying to implement into the, I guess, Mexican food and the gentrification that has happened to our food.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people have taken the concept, even just like tacos, you know what I mean? Like there's a taco shop like on every corner and stuff like that. And some of the most popular aren't owned by Hispanic people.
Correct.
You know, and it always like, it really pisses me off, honestly. It pisses me off because it's like, that's our food. Y'all are simplifying it and y'all are making a killing.
I think it's partially. It's funny that you say that because there's a cooking show on Netflix. I don't remember what it's called right now, but it's the first season or the first episodes are Vietnamese food, and it's out of Australia. And it's Vietnamese people in the kitchen, but the owner and GM and the head chef is an Aussie, is a white guy. And not to take anything from anybody, or you know, if you learn the craft, and it looks like you did. But I found that funny. I was like, how? Wait a minute, like it's Vietnamese food, but everybody, the guy that's making it blow up is somebody that's not authentically, you know.
Yes.
But I think sadly, I think it's part of the business savvy that they do have, and unfortunately, natives, Hispanics, in that case, Vietnamese, don't have.
So a lot of the times what I feel like happened, or it has happened to Hispanic food, or Mexican food really, not even, because I mean a lot of these taco shops are really just Tex-Mex places, like there's a big difference between Tex-Mex and Mexican food. So it's been quote unquote gentrified, but what has happened is a lot of these taco shops that a lot of people want to go to, or you know, go like even whether it be a truck or a shop, the owners of those businesses as parents, they don't pass that along to their kids.
Right.
A lot of times in the Hispanic community, people, or like our parents, my mom, like like I said earlier, like my parents were like, why are you gonna go to culinary? Like, no, like we went through all this so you can do exactly what your mom is doing.
Yeah.
Like, no, like, so that fear of falling into just being a, you know, another doña, or you know, like another one of us, they're like, why don't you go to school and be a doctor, be a lawyer, be a surgeon, be something other than what you know I was trying to get away from.
We touched base with one of our previous interviews, Jesse. Same thing. He's Salvadorian, and he's jumped into his passion 100%, being videographer and photographer, and he's an artist. But he's jumped into it 100%. That's how he pays his bills.
He got away from the oil and gas.
Yeah, and he was in oil and gas. So I mean, especially here in Texas, that's money. So his parents were they almost felt deceived. Like, you know, I sacrificed so much to bring you, and especially I think with him it might have been a little more because they saw him succeed into oil and gas, and then to let it go. So he battled that. He battled the fighting back from his own family, which I'm sure that. It's almost like, why are you not supporting me in what I want to do?
Yeah.
And that has to be a struggle.
It really is a struggle, like especially right now, since I'm kind of like trying to figure everything out. You know, like I feel like as an entrepreneur, you're always trying to figure something out. I don't even like calling myself that word because it's like, it's weird for me because it's like,
own it,
I still have like a, you know, I still have like a regular ass job. You know what I mean?
He's a bad boss.
You know, like I still have a regular ass job. You know, I have to, you know, I wait tables, and even that's kind of demeaning, you know, thinking about like, why am I still here? But that just gives me more energy to keep going.
Yeah.
But, you know, my parents are just like, you know what? Like, at some point, they were just like, she's just going to do this. Like, you know, I was working for that other company, and they saw how much I grew so fast, you know, and they're like, okay, this is what she's going to do. Like, she's just a bossy bitch, and she likes to be in charge, and she's authoritive, and apparently she can, like, they're just like, she can work hard? What? Like, they just couldn't believe that I was a hard worker. Because like my GMs would be like, tell my parents all the time, like, she's so good, like, she's just a hard worker, she's so good in the kitchen. And I'm just like, my parents like, this one?
You gave me 3 titles already. You said a server, a waitress. What all do you do?
So
I'm trying to like pinpoint you at a specific.
So I have a lot of jobs basically. Okay. Like currently I am a server. That's like my main source of income, or a waitress, whatever you want to call it. If you want to be,
wouldn't it?
Yes. So a server is general and it's more politically correct.
Oh,
and a waitress is sexist.
Is it?
Really?
It is.
Okay. Why? I never.
Because of the S at the end. There's a waiter, waitress.
But how is that sexist?
Because it defines a sex waitress. You wouldn't call a guy a waitress.
Right. No, it's a waiter.
So
But
she's saying they just put a
Generalize
server.
a server. I don't know. There's a lot of political stuff there.
I get the difference, waiter and waitress, but I'm saying
There's
how is
certain
that
restaurants
sexist?
that have both, though. I think that's why I was confused.
Really?
Yeah, like, I guess
Sorry.
my brother's been in the restaurant business for a while, and a waiter is what he would do, take your order, and the server was the one that brought the food for him. And he still put it on the table, but a server was bringing out the food.
Oh, okay. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is like in some restaurants there are just like waiters, people that just take orders, and that's like in the big like steakhouses,
Right.
like Mastro's. I believe that's what they do. They have a waiter that just waits in the section and just takes the order, and then they give the order to someone else, and they go. But I've always been in the restaurants that you're everything. You go run your food. Even though we do have food runners where I work, I still have to run food because even though I'm getting paid $2.13 an hour, I still have to go run food
Right, yeah.
because it's my food.
Right.
But
You enjoy it?
I do enjoy it. You get to network a lot. You get to meet new people every day at every one of your tables. Sometimes it's not fun, like you're gonna have people that
Do you slide them a Tamale Mami card or something?
it just depends. Like if you gotta feel your people.
Yeah.
And I guess that like with that, I'm like, okay, like I have this background of networking with people and, with food and all this stuff. Like, so all this comes natural to me. Like I can flip switches. Like, when I'm at my pop-up, when my friends come in, I'm like talking shit, like just calling people all types of bitches and hoes, and then as soon as someone I don't know comes up, I'm like, hey, how are you? Oh my God, you put your business voice on, and it's just, it's dope to have that in you because it's like, not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot of people can flip switches and go from being, and it's funny because people make fun of me at work because they're like, April, you're so smiley and giggly at your table, but then when you leave, you have this bitch face. I'm like, oh no.
But it's good though, because you're aware of yourself,
and
you know what you got to do. I think the hustler in you from your family, like it just clicks on and make that money.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But yeah, I do that, and then I also do visual stuff. I guess I don't want to call it graphic design because I'm not a graphic designer, but I guess I'm visually. I don't know how to explain it. Like
you might as well own it. You are a graphic designer.
I'm not a graphic designer.
Amateur graphic designer.
I guess you can say that. I do. Very amateur novice.
So, is that you? Is that 100% you?
It's not 100% me. I did source stuff for that, but the concept behind it, I definitely came up with.
I like it. She's cute.
Yeah, my niece, who is really a graphic designer, I'm actually going to source her to fix the logo because I think the winky eye is kind of.
Let me see. I'm gonna take a look at it, man.
It's kind of creepy.
Maybe tweak it. I like the wink eye because I feel like she's flirting with me.
Yeah, it does have a flirtatious vibe to it.
But I see what you said. I think just tweak it a little bit. Like it almost looks a little unnatural, kind of. Just the wink, but I like the look. I like the wink. No.
I like the wink. It looks flirtatious.
I feel like she should fix it for me.
Okay.
But yeah, she's a graphic designer, so I don't really use I don't like to use that term.
I get it. You almost
it's like
feel
calling
like
myself a chef.
You almost feel like it's a disrespect to the people that actually do it for a living.
Yeah, it's like calling myself a chef.
We got a friend who's an artist, and he started doing tattoos, and he hated being called a tattoo artist because he's an artist. But he can't call himself a tattoo artist even though he did it, but he was doing it just for the money. And of course he ended up stopping. Like he did a real good job, but he ended up stopping because he had that much of a respect towards
I don't
artists.
really like titles.
Okay.
I'm not I don't like general things.
So describe what do you mean by visual design?
So I make flyers.
Okay.
I make flyers.
For anything, everything goes, or
everything goes.
for you,
but generally, so what I started with was collage because I like to collage.
Okay.
I started working with this DJ brand because he wanted someone to do flyers, and I told him, and I lied to him. I was like, "Yeah, I make flyers." Sure.
Is that how you got started?
Yeah, and it's all been.
What do they say? Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make
It's all been within
You haven't been doing this for years.
Yeah. We got like 5 years on
April?
podcast.
Since April.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
There you
Okay.
go.
Fresh.
Yeah,
literally.
like we had met up before. Like I had given him like a couple ideas or whatever. Like we bounced back ideas, and we seemed to work well, but nothing ever came of it. I was like, okay. And then I met up with him just by chance. I went to go see him where he was at, and we just started talking, and then like we just made a whole adventure because that's just the way he is.
Okay.
And we just started talking, and he's just like, okay. And then the next day he was like, you make flyers? And I was like, sure. Sure I do. Wiki eye.
You know, as I mentioned before, I did follow you on your personal page for a while, and you do have just a keen eye to what's visually attractive.
Yeah.
Not only with your personal pictures, but the way you incorporate. I think I like the Mexican and the music, and just the urbanization of it all. I think it's very Houston, and I was actually surprised that you're from the Valley.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm from the Valley. So I've only been in Houston for 4 years, but the whole like music stuff and the Mexican stuff, obviously, I've always been into music since I was a kid. Like a lot of people have this like, conversation or this history of, growing up on soul music and all the stuff, like, but I didn't. Like, I grew up on Tejano, like,
I just got excited, and the reason why, and I'm sorry for interrupting. The question that we asked, we're gonna ask her that again.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
For whoever's watching, y'all know what's coming up, but you'll see. I'll bring it up again. Anyway, continue.
Okay, sorry, I have ice in my mouth. I grew up on Tejano, country, rock music, especially like grunge. I grew up on rap because at the time when I was a kid, MTV Raps was on, MTV Jams, all that stuff. Like, so my siblings didn't allow me to change the channel. Like I couldn't watch Nickelodeon, I couldn't watch,
Yeah.
They were watching on TV and you had to sit through
I
it.
was like, so I had to sit through it. But I just naturally gravitated towards it. So I've always been obsessed with music. I love it a lot. And, as much as we don't have a voice in rap music, we Hispanic people, Latinos, we really made hip hop, the lifestyle, really flourish with like breakdancing and graffiti artists and all this stuff. Because I feel like, probably 75% of graffiti artists and breakdancers are Latinos.
It's funny that you say that because I just saw something on, I think it was Vice. No, it wasn't Vice. It was Philip DeFranco. And they were going over the history of breakdancing. And one, that breakdancers don't even call it breakdancing, it's break. And they're actually talking about incorporating it into the Olympics this year in France.
Wow.
But breakdancers are against it to a sense.
Because they don't want to commercialize it.
Yeah, but then I didn't know this. I learned that today that breakdancing was actually the first official dance for hip hop, and in New York and all that. When it started, that was its first official dance. That's pretty cool. You actually struck a chord with me earlier about Tejano. I love Tejano.
Yeah.
Absolutely love Tejano. So
He was at the Tejano band.
yeah, I
Oh.
was. I would sing and I would play a saxophone.
Oh, awesome.
What's your favorite Tejano singer, group,
come on.
or?
We are drinking Selena.
Oh.
But I do like, Amigo Navarra, La Mafia, like all stuff like that. Like I love all that stuff.
The guy that the guy that I was in the band with, the father, the owner of the band, he was nephew to Oscar De La Rosa. I actually saw Oscar twice.
He's around here.
Yeah.
It's funny because like Intocable played at my cousin's quince.
No way.
Really?
Yeah, when they were first when it was like after their first album when they were like Coqueta was out and all that. It was pretty dope. And my godmother from my communion, she dated one of the band members, and I was just like, this is crazy. Are you a groupie?
Girl, we got
But
connections
yeah.
now.
He was a groupie.
But yeah, so like music has always been like a big part of me. It's an escape for me. Like it's where I go and rest my head, really.
Yeah.
But it's funny because it's like it's really not resting your head.
Too,
it's
I'm
a
sure.
lot of
But it's variety.
noise.
You come with a variety of music. You know, you're not just saying, oh, I grew up on this or that. You know, it's
It's
very
eclectic,
diverse.
yeah.
There's something that people have been sharing, and it hits with me too. Like especially Hispanics, I think it's more like we can be so diverse when it comes to music. Like we'll go from Slim Thug to Los Bukis, to Vicente Fernandez to
Yeah.
like Chad Presley or something, you know, or whoever. Like everything. Like we'll listen to absolutely everything.
I think it's the
it's
barrier of
great.
language because you know you can have someone who just speaks English and they can go jazz, you know, oldies, classical, whatever. But then you add on a different language, it's like mind blowing. And then different generations, our parents.
Yeah.
What do we wake up every Sunday morning cleaning to? You know,
Yeah.
not the Beach Boys.
Well.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like, you know, the fact that we can be so diverse and eclectic is just like a reflection of who we are. Like a lot of people want to like, you know, say we're 100% Mexican. Well, what does that mean? We're not really 100% anything because we are so mixed and so mestizos. Like you know, everyone has been in Mexico. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
So many different subgroups.
like tacos al pastor.
That's what we were discussing.
Tacos árabe. You know, like it's
And
so
even
different.
pastor has so many variants itself, like trompo.
Yeah.
Like that's pastor can be one thing, and trompo is a completely different thing. That's something that we were talking about before we started recording. Like when you say Mexico, like there's so many different regions, and like even food. Like me growing up, like I said, my mom's from San Luis, and like in San Luis Potosí, enchiladas to me was always like these little red taquitos that were served with like beans and little chopped up onions, and that was it. It was filled with cheese and like some chile.
Queso fresco,
And like the face that she's making is the same thing. The same thing that I always get. It's like, that's not enchiladas. What the fuck are you talking about? That is enchiladas.
So my mom makes those enchiladas too. So I grew up on like those type of enchiladas, and she would make Americanos.
Oh.
So those are the ones with like the cheese and the chili and all that stuff. So that's the like Tex-Mex stuff. So my mom, it's funny because my mom had to learn how to make a lot of like Americanized stuff because for assimilation purposes. Because at the time, you know, like my mom came over here from Mexico and when she was 21. Which was in the 60s. So a lot of those products didn't exist.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And then my dad's American.
You had to use what you had.
My dad is American, so it's like he was used to certain flavors. Like my dad's the reason why some of us in our family eat tamales with ketchup.
Do you?
Sometimes.
I've never heard. That sounds like a cursor to me. What?
No, it's a thing. It's honestly a thing. Like, and it's certain people that do like. Ketchup? And I've tried it.
I tried it with barbecue sauce.
So it's like a weird thing, but it actually tastes pretty good.
I can't knock it, but I'm like shocked. I've never even thought about mixing those.
Okay, with the whole, this popped up in my head because weird eating. Torta de tamales. Is that a thing for you or no?
No.
Torta de tamal.
Come on, did you ever
It doesn't
hear about
sound horrible. Like
there were memes about it maybe a year ago. It was a famous soccer player and he went kind of crazy because he's like, you can have a torta de tamal, and the guy was like, there's no such thing as a torta de tamal. And it's like Mom, I'm like, Mom, don't we always eat
it's
torta de
like
tamal?
people might look at you weird, but it's like eating chilaquiles with a taco. Like I mean, it's tortillas and tortillas.
Oh, it's a very DF thing because you know when you go, they say when you go to Mexico DF, you're getting the same thing that's going on here, the gentrification of so many foods.
Yeah.
And I think that's where somebody went to go eat a torta de tamal and it was mind blowing. Like, how can you have that? And it's like, it's a thing. Bitch, try it.
I mean, I'd try it. I tried that first before ketchup. I don't know. I'll try it. I mean,
I honestly don't even know where it came from. Like
when people look at, when people look at me weird when I try it, because I'm always going to try it one day and like you're not going to be there, and I'm going to be like, look, she told me to.
No, it's funny because I don't know what I was looking at today on Instagram.
Could be like, get you know.
Oh, okay. So
Ketchup.
Danny Trejo was like, he put something like the face I make whenever I see people putting ketchup on their tacos, and then someone commented like, I put ketchup on my tamales. And there's always comments in reply to that. And I was about to say, I like spicy ketchup with my tamales.
See, it makes it a little better.
Spicy ketchup from
that sounds a little better. All right.
See, that's hot.
Make it pass. Wait, so you're talking about spicy ketchup from Whataburger, right?
Yeah, I made spicy. It's funny because I made spicy ketchup
You
for my
hear
last
that, man?
pop-up, so people.
You
can
better
eat it.
stop flirting with her because that's her. That's all her. Yeah, she's throwing snow at you, Selena, spicy ketchup.
If I can't get out of here
Durango.
later, I know why.
Another thing that I noticed. Why tamale and not tamal, mommy?
Okay, so it's supposed to be tamale mommy. So
why?
because it rhymes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, you know, because you're very proud of the Mexican.
I am very
heritage.
proud of it, and it's
So-
funny because like when I was coming up with the
I did a
brands-
double take. I was like, is it? I thought it said tamales. No, it's a tamal. But then it does rhyme.
Yeah, tamale mommy.
Okay. It does roll off your tongue.
Yeah.
Did you struggle with it?
I did struggle with
You're
it.
looking at me like,
I struggled
should
with
I
it.
stay with it?
Like when I first thought of it, and I put everything together, it's just like I like it. It's good. But I was just like, but it's not like super Mexican because it's funny because I get a lot of shit for talking like I'm from the Valley because I speak English without an accent, and then I'm like tamales, tacos, cilantro, like, and they're like, people are like, why do you talk like that? Like, how do you flip? I'm just like, it's just like in me. Like, that's how we
Right.
talk in the Valley. Like, it's like an easy switch.
I
like,
think
I'm
in
just like,
Spanish. Do you feel like you think in Spanish?
sometimes.
Okay.
It
I
depends.
think is that a thing? I've been asked what language
I
you
have
think. I'm
never ever thought to categorize what language I think in.
Like, I think in Spanish.
I don't.
No, I definitely think in English because I was like, this bitch.
Oh, no, I definitely think Spanish.
No, I don't. I can't. I guess.
It actually helps me think spell correctly. I'm a big spell freak, and knowing Spanish, I can spell a word even if I've never seen it, and I think it's because of my Spanish.
I was in the spelling bee. I was in spelling UIL, by the way. She's like,
This bitch, you're right.
Yeah, that's exactly like this bitch.
You kicked it in. Okay, I did think about that whole tamale mommy.
Yeah, I definitely was struggling with it at first, but Max was like, just do it.
I'm curious about the
Perfect.
salsa.
Is it spicy? I mean,
It has a little kick to it.
It does.
Yeah,
Can I open?
you can taste it.
Do you feel like
Just
you're
be
consistent
careful.
with your salsa? Because my mom's.
That, yeah.
Okay,
that's
so
a
I
huge
try to be
thing.
consistent as much as possible, but like I said,
You can
earlier-
never tell because of jalapeno sometimes.
Yeah.
You
So
never
you gotta tanteale.
Yeah. Okay.
But then correct me if I'm wrong. The spice varies from pepper to pepper.
Yeah,
Like
that's what you're
sometimes.
saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
So
was
you
too
gotta
concentrated.
you gotta tanteale.
I don't pay attention to her.
You got like
She
when I was
never-
making this, it's like I do like half first, and then I go with
Okay.
if it's not
Taste
spicy,
it.
then take a whole.
Okay.
Yeah,
What kind of chilies do you use?
jalapenos.
Hey,
I only make salsa
verde.
verde.
Reveal her secrets.
I only make salsa verde. I mean, that's not a secret. Like everyone knows how to make it. But I will tell you this: we were talking about doubt earlier. So a friend,
Okay.
she's learning how to cook or whatever. She had posted like a video on her like story, and she started talking about making salsa verde, and she was talking about how like the longer you leave the tomatillos, the more acidic your salsa gets. But I've always had compliments on my salsa. They're like, "Oh my god, your salsa verde." My friends like, "Your salsa verde is so good," you know, like. And
Can I put my finger in it and taste it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if he's okay with it.
He's gonna eat it anyway.
This bitch.
But yeah,
That's not good. Okay.
but yeah,
Spicy?
Yeah. Still kicked her.
but yeah, I try to be as consistent as possible. But after hearing her say that, I was just like super like self-conscious about my salsa. I was like, oh, it's too bitter. Oh no, like. But I'm
curious.
just like, you know what? Like, I just need to own it, and that's no one's ever said anything else to me.
Right.
And I feel like it's probably the closest thing to erdes, but this is spicy.
Yeah.
To
And
what?
Erdes.
There's the salsa brand.
Oh.
Come on, man.
That's the only salsa I'll get from a can.
I only eat homemade salsa. What are you talking about? So I don't know about brands.
There's good ones.
I'm very like. Why do you look like you're eating Lucas?
Oh.
What a white boy.
Do you not like it?
I thought it was even spicier. I love spice. Like,
Oh, so I keep it only with a kick, just because I have a diverse.
You're
You
playing
don't-
it safe. You're playing it safe. Have you thought about
I
it?
could
recommend
definitely
making
make
a
a
spicier
spicier one.
Okay.
I do make a spicy one if I know I'm going to be this like if it's for a person. Like
I'm Mexican. I like spice.
If I
What do you
know,
want?
if I know people are going to want spice, I'll definitely, if I make an order in for somebody, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna.
It's alright. She has to bring the half of the dozen. So
But yeah, I try to keep it.
She didn't say like give it to you. She just said
But
right
this is just the sauce I make for just like the universe, basically.
Okay.
I try to keep it.
it's good. It has a good flavor. I could handle more spice. She can't.
I'm just okay. So I personally like my salsa with sabor and a little bit of spice. That's why I make it this way. Because I feel like a lot of times that when you get really spicy, you don't get
lose flavor. Yeah.
And my brother, oh my god, my brother's super macho. Like if you want to know, like if you ever thought of the word macho stereotype, my brother is it. My oldest brother.
So yeah, I meant to ask that. So you said 7.
Yeah.
What's the
age range.
Okay, so my
Well, not
oldest-
even that. I was gonna say like how many boys, girls, like.
So there's 2 boys and 4 girls, and then me, and so 5 girls.
I was like, wait, that's 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have 4 sisters and 2 brothers.
Who's the oldest?
My sister is the oldest. She is 17 years older than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just had a little girl. She's 3 weeks. Her brother, her stepbrother, or half brother, is 18. He turned 18.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
My
17 years difference. I'm sure there's 17 years difference between both of y'all, and then there's 7 in between y'all. Mm-hmm. So the age difference is like 2-3 years apart for everybody.
No, 5. 5 between.
4. So at the beginning, it's like 2.
Oh, okay.
And then after, like when my mom got to the middle child, it was like, okay, 4 years. 4 years.
Okay.
But I honestly wasn't supposed to be born.
You were the surprise
What
baby.
sense?
My mom had her tubes tied already.
Oh, I hear that.
Man,
You know, this
so
is
you
back
were
in
a
88,
fighter.
you know?
You're like, man.
What you mean? I can't
Let me in this motherfucker.
come in? And that should be your mindset for this.
That's badass.
Yeah.
You're fighting from day one.
Yeah, my mom wasn't supposed to have me, but yeah, here I am. 31
Surprise.
years later. Surprise, bitches.
That's funny.
But yeah, she's my sister, the oldest one. She's she hates it because like everyone's always told her like, "Are you April's mom?" Like all the time.
Yeah.
Like she can go out to eat and I not be there, and people will be like, "You're April's mom, right?" And they're just like,
Yeah,
"No."
Do you look like your mom?
Or your sister.
So I look like my sister.
Okay.
Like, definitely we look more like my
You fuck with her and be
dad.
like, Ma.
So now we're closer. Like she's like my second mom. You know, she's like my second mom, and I always tell her like, "Yeah, you're old enough to be my mom, but you know, we won't get into that." But she's definitely like my second mom.
Hi, sis.
But it's just. I mean, I kind of look like my mom. Like, I look like both my parents. I'm probably the one that looks like both of them, like, a lot.
Okay.
Because, like, I have, like, a features from this or that. I have my dad's resting bitch face, so.
Okay.
But, yeah. Yeah, it's just, like, it's a weird thing. But it goes into, like, this, too. Because, like, my 3 older siblings, they're very much... you know, first generation Mexican, old school, you know, they wore, you know, Lucchese's and Wranglers and Roper boots and all that stuff. They grew up really like country and Tejano and all that stuff. And then,
Starch pants.
you know,
and all
starch
that.
pants, and they have accents. They have a valley accents like hardcore. And then you get to us and it's just like the accent is nearly gone.
Where in the valley?
Mission, McAllen, Far, that area.
Okay.
The good part. Not the Mid Valley. But yeah,
My cousin's from Sorry, bro.
sorry. There's a difference. But yeah, so it's like weird. So going into this, I was like, you know, this is new generation. Like this is new generation Mexican food, and if I had a place, what would it look like? Okay, it would look like this. It would incorporate hip hop into it because that's what everyone listens to now. You know, like it's
Man, that
so
sounds badass.
you know, like, and that's why, you know, the pictures that I first had on my Instagram, it was like a picture that I used from like bulletproof wallets from Ghostface Killah and Raekwon, and they're cooking, and I was like, okay, let me put the tamales there. Like that's just dope to me. You know what I mean? Like. And I just want to incorporate that. And then I have like a picture of like Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, that's how people view us,
Right.
as vote for Pedro, and like in the bathtub sweating, shaving our heads, and you know, getting the cholo look.
Yeah.
You know, that's how people look at us. So it's just like, okay, this is new generation Mexican food.
How do you feel like your your recipe stands out from the rest?
My recipe stands out.
Apart from the name, because I'm gonna go into that.
I think it stands out just because it's me. You know, like I put everything I have into it. I'm very critical, very particular. I'm my biggest critic, you know, and there's nothing anyone can tell me like that I haven't heard. And I'm like, okay, like me from my experience eating tamales with my mom, like that's what makes it different, and it tastes just like home. And you know, I'm still learning, and I'm still like, you know, I have hiccups here and there, like, you know, because I'm not the doña, you know, like I haven't been doing this for years. I'm not my mom who dropped out of second grade to do this. Like that's what she used to do.
Second nature to them.
You know, like that's what she has done for years. You know, my mom is 70 something. She's made tamales for a long time, for almost 60 years. You know, so I can't even compare.
Right.
You know, like, and I'm just starting, and I'm 31, so I can just imagine how much better I'm gonna be. You know, like once I figure everything out, I'm like, okay. But it's just me. I put love into everything I do, and I always give 100% of myself, and that's what makes it different.
Okay.
So, did you tell us about what your mom thought the first time she did? We didn't get to that. Right? So let's go back. Your sister tried, and years later, you came around and gave it a shot. So what happened?
So it's funny because my mom's never tried my tamales.
What?
Yeah.
She what?
She hasn't tried them?
Why?
So my mom doesn't even know I'm doing this.
Okay. Because on your end, are you nervous?
I'm really nervous, honestly, just because I'm gonna get emotional. I'm gonna get emotional right now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So no, like, Vicente.
That's great. I would have thought that she would be the first one.
No,
But then she is the worst critic. Or your harsh.
so yeah, so it means a lot to me, and you know, like even going to culinary school, like I said, like it was a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, like my dad, you know, he loves food, and he didn't accept me going to culinary school until I made him a buffalo chicken sandwich, and he just thought it was the best thing in this world. And I was like, and he still talks about that stupid sandwich to this day. And I'm like, Dad, it was the simplest shit. But I'm like, okay, but he talked about
Frank's Red House? Frank's Red Hot?
but it was like, you know, like, so it took a long time for them to accept that. So with this, it's like, you know, my mom is the queen of making this stuff. Like, she still makes them till today. She sells them, like, you know, like, she makes...
Are you intimidated by your mom?
I'm not intimidated because I know she's gonna, like, the thing is, like,
She'd want to make her proud.
yeah, but I eventually want to source her for something. Just because, like, the whole point of this is to show her that she could have had a restaurant.
Pay tribute to her.
Yeah, it is. Everything is an homage to something. And it's definitely an homage to my mom. Like, it's even Underground Cocina. Like, that's an homage to my mom hustling plates and making tamales and selling to my sister's schools and all that stuff. And
That's beautiful, man. That's
and like,
cool.
and it's also an homage to, like, you know, our people out there in the streets. Like, there's a reason why there's not ladies out there selling tamales, you know, because it's dangerous. And there's tamale men out there, you know, like, it's an homage to all that. So it's like,
Shout out to that one lady that I see over there on West Road and 45 outside of a Walmart. Like, I pull in there sometimes, and that lady's right there. Like,
yes.
it's just, and
takes
it's
a certain type of person to
absolutely
be
what
out
you're
there.
saying, because it's like, it's her, and then there's that one motherfucker selling a bunch of like knockoff CDs and shades. It was like, all right, lady, I know you have a gun or something, because you know.
yeah, it's definitely a homage to her. So it's like, it's just for me to show her that you know, she could have been successful had she done this as, you know, it's like her main goal, but she was just so caught up in keeping us grounded as kids, you know, being first generation, her coming over for good reasons, and, you know, making sure that we were educated and we all went to college and all this stuff. So it was just like, you know, I just want to be like, hey mom, I know I have a college degree that I don't use, but
we can still make a life. We can make a life with what you taught us.
There's something that we plan on doing, like a follow-up interview with all of our interviewees. So by next time, I hope we have a story about your mom trying it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, definitely have like the idea of like sourcing her, but not to help me like actually make them, because that's the last thing I want her to do. Because I just want her to stop working.
Right.
But it's like I just want her to be with me in this, like, just because it's like, you know, like this is us.
She's the reason why you're here.
Yeah, definitely.
Point blank.
Definitely. And it's just, I don't know. It's always like uncovering things. That's what it's about.
Right.
And uncovering history and all this stuff. And you know, if y'all are first generation, so y'all know what it's like trying to figure out like your family when there's not like a lineage available to you all the time.
It's funny that you say that. I actually signed up for Ancestry.com, and it's very difficult to dig into your past because record keeping in Mexico is not or wasn't very sophisticated, and it's all handwritten.
And also it has to do with a lot of like the revolution and all that stuff. They obliterated a lot of that Spain history from the books because of the orgullo. So that's what happens.
That's crazy too, because I've wanted to know, and like I've dug into my last name and found that the origins of my last name is like and it makes sense. It's Montoya. I'll probably edit that, but whatever. But I found the region in Spain where it supposedly originated from, but again, my last name originates from Montañas, which makes sense. The name is like, okay, I get it. But it's crazy looking into Ancestry.com, because there were stories, and I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but like my mom would tell me a crazy ass story about like one of her aunts or cousins or somebody that was killed by a lightning bolt, and I was like, all right, whatever. Like supposedly she says that she was praying, and she was like praying, and all of a sudden that she got hit with a lightning bolt, and it sounds like shit. It was in the fucking document.
Wow.
It was in it was handwritten.
That's cool.
Muerta por.
Is that why you don't pray, man?
Probably. I got credit. I was an altar boy.
But
so
it's like crazy. But it's crazy though. Like
cool.
You know, like those stories that they seldomly tell you that are like really crazy. I'm just like, they can't be true.
Right.
Like,
My family. I have an uncle. He swears up and down that we're related to Marilyn Monroe. Like, and he has dates, and he brings up periodicos and stuff. Like, and isn't it funny how your grandma was this time? And like, when I was younger, I believed him.
That reminds me of a fucking meme that I just saw today. It's talking about, you said you were from Michigan. Pendeja said Michoacán.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just like going back to what I was saying earlier, like the recetas, like un poquito de esto.
Yeah.
So it like definitely nervous doing that. Like I'm like, Mom, you didn't teach me shit, because she really didn't teach me anything.
But why? I mean, usually, especially the girls, is like, come here to the kitchen and help.
But she was older. She was the youngest.
No. Okay,
she
so
would take care of everybody else.
So like my mom is very, very much Maria. Like that's her name. Like I always call myself like hija de Maria. Like because my mom is very Maria. Like she's very stereotypical. Like trying to assimilate. She doesn't know English, by the way.
Okay.
Like she literally just knows how to order a Coke, and that's it. But like she's very like she babied my brothers. She super starched their genes.
Stay flow.
She's just like stay flow, yes. But like just babied them, and then with us it was like ándale cabronas, ponte a limpiar. Like we were always cleaning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Limpiando frijoles, like doing little things. Never like, okay, you're gonna make tortillas today. No, we never did any of that stuff. My mom did all that stuff. And like, yeah, we would help with tamales because obviously, okay, I'll get into the tamales thing in a little bit, but we would help with it, but she would never let your hand in the pot. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, or you couldn't be the one to put the filling in there because she was going to be the one to do it. We'd only spread and clean the hojas, and that's it.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So like you don't learn anything. You don't learn how much is this, how much is nothing.
You got
like
shit
that.
what to do. You just like.
Which is crazy. Like like my mom started going on the road with my dad. My dad had a truck driving business at some point. So we were like, I was like in junior high school, and my mom started leaving my dad. And we're like celebrating holidays, and we're like, how the hell do you make buñuelos? So we call her on the road, and or like we'd page my dad. This is back in the day. Like we'd page my dad, like 911, like you know. And my dad would
Think it is an emergency.
you know, like calling from a payphone, you know, calling from a payphone, and it was just like, how do you make buñuelos? So my mom on the phone, un poquito de esto. It's just like, you know, like we just had to.
Yeah.
And then we'd have to call her aunt. Even my aunts don't really know how to cook.
Really?
It's so crazy. Like my mom did everything for them.
So how big is your mom's family? Like as far as
So big.
Really?
I want to say they're a family of 12. I don't really know. Like I'm just, like I said, like the lineage thing, my mom and the history thing. Like, and it sucks now because I don't have either of my grandparents. So I can't even source them for that.
You know what? Like I don't either. I don't have my grandmother anymore, but it's like, knowing now, like what I wish I could have learned, I would have had so many questions if she was still around, like to learn. Especially, my mom helped a whole bunch with that whole ancestry thing. Like, I would ask her because, of course, it's hard to trace back in the tree. And then I'm asking her, I'm like, do you know who this is? Do you know who this is? And I throw out names, and she was helping me. And like without her, of course, like I wouldn't know. And I'm sure that if my grandma was still around, I could have gone even further back. But so 12.
Yeah. My dad's from a family of 7 and she's from a family of 12. I know like her parents' families were bigger.
Right.
So she's the oldest.
And it was one of those things like back then too. It was like they had so many because they would.
And she was
at work.
And she was the
Yeah.
oldest too, so that made her in charge of her siblings.
Yeah.
And y'all.
That's why I said, I don't know if you catched earlier, like she dropped out of 2nd grade.
Right.
Yeah.
To help
with the siblings and to make food and all that stuff.
Which makes sense why your aunts wouldn't know as good as
Like
your
they
mom.
do, but they're not.
Well, I get it. Yeah.
Like they say that.
I feel like it's my aunt and my mom. Like that's my mom. She's really good. But there's certain things like tortillas de harina that my aunt does better. There's arroz, the traditional rice. My aunt does better. Like certain things that my aunt just does
rice is hard to
better.
do.
Yeah.
I always talk about like rice, and I think it's like rice is a thing in the Mexican culture. It's like if you know how to make rice, you have to puedes casar.
Yeah.
Because it's the hardest thing. Like it took me a while.
It is. My mom just makes the white rice, but she gets so frustrated because she can't do the traditional.
It took me a while, but now I'm just
too
like
dry, too soggy, too.
now I can do it 21. Same age my mom was. I remember like her calling my mom and being like, "Amma, ¿cómo estás el arroz?" Like,
No, it's
like no.
I can't even ask my mom for that.
Because she can't do it.
Yeah, I know she can. She really can.
It's honestly, it's all in the browning. It really is all in the browning.
No,
It
because
is.
even if it's the browning, the taste is not there.
I mean, so it's funny because like a lot of like I'm like traditionally like everyone puts like garlic and like onion in it. I don't.
No.
Really?
I don't.
I've always
do
seen
cilantro?
onion at least.
So and my shit always comes out like perfect because I feel like it's all in the nor and the tomato. You said not,
The nor, yes.
and I feel like the nor is the biggest. The nor, and then like the tomato sauce. How much tomato sauce you put? Because if you put too much, it's gonna come out real like.
So my aunt does half. However much you put tomato sauce, you put half in water.
Yeah.
Is that how you do it too?
Yeah.
But then she also adds cilantro. And to me,
I
it's
do
really good.
sometimes I put cilantro. It just depends on who I'm making it for.
Okay.
You know, it just depends on who I'm making it for.
Okay.
But if I'm making it for a pop-up, I won't put cilantro on it.
And no onions. You said no onions, right?
I don't understand why some people hate cilantro. Like
It's like either people love it or hate it.
I don't understand how the
It's
fuck
one
you
of
can
those
hate it
things.
because it's like it's so freaking.
It's like a
weird.
thing. It's like a thing. It tastes like soap to them.
And yeah, that's what I remember reading.
I've never heard
like
of that.
some
I've
some
never
people, Junior, he
Some
was saying
gene
that
in their palate or
that
something.
he tastes
Some bullshit like that.
literally.
Seriously.
I don't know.
Because I used to work with this girl. Because I was like saying earlier, like people make fun of me for saying cilantro.
Sí.
Cilantro. Anyway, she would say like it tastes like soap to me. That shit is disgusting. And I'm just like, what? Like I love all that stuff.
And don't ever feel bad about your accent, girl. Own it.
I own it.
Oh yeah, no, like
I own it.
I used to think that way, and then I'm in a sorority, and then they're all Mexican, brown power, women, and they're like, no, your name is not Maribel, it's Maribel. I'm like, oh. And they would like seriously correct me in front of people, like, oh, this is Maribel. No, her name's Maribel.
No, it's funny because it's like being in Houston. it took me a long time to adjust to the whole like Americanizing stuff. Like I remember I went to go visit one of my mentors when I was working for that company or whatever, when I first started looking for an apartment. And I went to his store and I was like, I'm gonna take the tamales.
Okay.
Okay. And he's like, the tamales? And I was like, tamales. And he's like, they don't say it like that here, April. And I'm just like looking at him like, are you serious right now? I was like, oh my God, this is what I have to look forward to. And it's funny because it's like, I just would hear, like, I remember going to like the DMV and like waiting and like people not reacting. I don't know. It was just like the weirdest, like people pronouncing their names a different way.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, that's not how you pronounce your name, their last name especially. Like that's, you know.
Guadalupe?
Rodriguez.
That's right. But I feel like we've gotten better. Or maybe because there's more Latinos in, nowadays too, where people get corrected, or I feel like non-Hispanic try more. Put some respect on it at least.
Yeah.
You hear, am I pronouncing it right, more often than before? And then before it was like...
That's right,
Yeah, true. But it's like, like me in the industry, like...
Yeah.
I feel like people like...
On purpose? Kind of
purposely be like, gracias. I'm like, we're not at a Mexican... Why are you telling me gracias?
I personally don't like it whenever people do it. It's like, bro, like, just say it in English. Like,
just say thank you.
Yeah.
Por favor.
I work in that environment. So it is cringy, but to me it's like, they're trying. That's how I take it.
That's an optimistic way to look at it.
Again, it's just me. So, I do have a question, and I feel like, where was I going? Oh, so where do you go to promote it? Like, because we were talking about earlier, you don't do Walmart because it's not safe. You're not gonna do that stereotypical because it's not your stereotypical tamale. But so what are you doing, or how do you promote it, or where do you go?
So
or what have you done?
I first started doing it like via Instagram.
Okay.
I was like, hey, like when I first started doing them, I was like, hey, like I'm gonna give you free samples. Just let me know if you want some. And
to businesses or people?
Just people.
Okay.
Just people that I knew.
Okay.
And some people like were like, cool, like I'll do it. Like I'll get your samples. Like why? I'm not gonna say no.
Right.
But then I noticed like people don't, especially in Houston, people don't like putting in orders for things. They want it in front of them. They want it right then and there. Well, so I just figured to promote it, like that's when I came up with the pop-up. So I had the idea for the pop-up, which is Underground Cocina, for a while, and that's pretty much implementing both. Me using Underground Cocina to show people that I can actually cook, and then them being like, oh, you make tamales? Oh, okay, like your other food's good, like I'm definitely gonna try the tamales.
Okay.
So that's how I've kind of used Underground Cocina to promote this. So people call me Tamale Mami, even though they really haven't had my tamales.
Okay, so I'm gonna sound really dumb right now because I thought it was the same brand, but this is just one brand this is just one product under your brand. Mm-hmm. So what other dishes do you do?
I make tacos, of course. I make all types of stuff. Like right now I just started, so I've only put out like maybe 3 menus, but it's been, my main focus with Underground Cocina is like making tortillas from hand, from scratch. Making sure that I make the main, I guess, the focus of the taco, like my responsibility, which is the tortilla, because I feel like every good taco starts with a good tortilla. Mm-hmm. Or making even the gordita, because I make gorditas.
Do you do where you like deep fry, like not deep fry, put it in the aceite, the tortillas, or no?
What do you mean?
How do you do? What's the style of your tortilla?
So what are you talking about?
There's some taco trucks that dip their.
Are you talking about like
that's when they're heating them up.
No. I'm talking about actually making them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so what is it?
But she's going even further back. You're talking about like reheating the tortilla ready to make the order.
I'm not
She's talking about.
I'm talking about like actually making it from scratch.
Okay.
Using the tortilla press. Okay. Or rolling them out myself.
Okay.
Because if they're flour.
You do both?
A little interjection right here. Like I think I partially married my wife because of that. Like she makes handmade tortillas and masa. She said she can make harina, but I have yet to try it.
You didn't earn it. I got you, babe.
Mystery.
Yeah. So it's like.
But yeah, like that's my main focus because
Okay.
I mean, my mom makes everything from scratch.
Right.
I grew up with my mom making everything from scratch. Like literally, she sourced nothing from a box. Like maybe like one thing, and it was like pances, which is pancakes. I say that because my mom. If you are Latino and you have someone that is from,
I've heard panqueques.
no. Like if you've ever worked in the industry, or even if you saw your mom label something, you know that their spelling is always wrong.
Yeah.
So my mom like wrote on this Tupperware with the pancake mix in it, pances, P-A-N-C-E-S.
Pancakes.
At least it was a Tupperware, not a cream cheese label or something.
But it's so funny because I went through that even when I was a kitchen manager. Like I would go into the cooler and I would see all these labels and they'd be like escallops, and I'm like, what?
It's cute.
But it's so funny, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's the only thing she sourced from a box. It was like the weirdest thing.
So I'm pretty sure every time you go into any pantry, you kind of have a smile on your face because you think of your mom.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. My mom's like super like, I don't know, like it was like weird because like, you know, I would go to school and everyone would have like Pop-Tarts and like all this processed food, and my mom was like, there was no boxes in our, nothing. My parents didn't even let us have like sugary cereal, none of that. It's like we would only be able to buy candy or any sugary cereal if we went to Mexico because they knew the sugar was real, and that was the only way we could have it. So anytime we go to Mexico, it was like, oh, vamos a la Soriana, oh,
Yeah.
like just like put everything in the basket.
You grew up with no fast food too, I'm guessing.
So we did and we didn't.
It was a special kid.
It was a special occasion, like you know
on
when
Sundays.
like you know what I mean, like when like McDonald's would run their like 40 nuggets or whatever. My dad would be like, "We're gonna go get 40 nuggets."
Well, it was 70 of us.
Or
so it was
like
yeah, we're
sometimes we
getting
would get
40.
like church's chicken. It was just like I don't know. It was like weird stuff that my dad would crave. My dad's a big guy, so like it was like random cravings.
Well,
my
you
dad
also
would
say he
have.
was American too, right?
Yeah, he's super Americanized.
Oh, yeah.
But he's still like he's still like very much Mexican.
Well, he married. That's.
But it's funny because my dad is so it's like really. I guess the reason why I'm so critical of my own self is because my dad is so critical. Like, I have both my parents in me, and my dad is just so critical. Like my parents. I feel like half my parents' marriage arguments were about what side of the tortilla you put the filling on for the
What? Priorities.
I kid you not. That's my dad. Like that's how critical he is.
Okay.
He's super
Who
critical.
would win?
Wait. They would always argue about it.
Okay, but I didn't know there was a side to a tortilla.
Exactly. My dad is ridiculous. My dad was ridiculous in the 90s.
I don't.
So is it the less?
So it's the less
Right? That's
toasted,
what you put. Yeah, that's what I do. But I wouldn't argue with anybody about it.
You know, my dad goes, this is the 90s.
That'd be too easy. That'd be too easy eating it to argue.
Yeah, it's my dad was like that. So like he's really critical, and it's like, you know,
So
like,
you think you have like a perfectionist aspect in your kitchen?
super critical of myself. Like I know, like even with this, I'm like, ugh.
That's probably where it stems your whole want to like not go based off of un poquito de esto, because you.
Well, yeah,
want
I'm
that.
definitely like, because I mean, even though I'm very much like that, I'm very like all my underground cocina, like pop-up stuff, nothing is measured, literally, and it's just like, and I have to remember what I did. Because like there's been things that people love, like my Rick Ross, which is just it's like the easiest thing. I'm saying it's not that I don't know how to make it, but it's like super. It's like things that I just come up with in my head, you know, flavor combinations that I just come up with in my head, and I'm like, oh, we're just gonna throw all this stuff in, and that's
Dude,
it.
that's like my wife's name is Brenda. She does that sometimes where she's like, I don't know what I'm gonna make, and she starts putting this, she starts putting that, and I'm like, this is freaking good. I'm like,
What did you do?
Do this again, and she's like, or I'm like, what did you put in it? I don't know. Like what? Like I want this again.
Yeah, I mean, I had that, but at the same time, like I have really good memories, so I kind of remember what I did. With stuff like that, it's
Sorry,
easy.
babe. She has a horrible memory.
I mean, it's really easy to remember stuff like that, but when it comes to like tamales, tamales is like, there's so many superstitions around tamales, like anything can go wrong.
Yeah.
You could literally do the same thing every time, and it still come out different every time.
Yeah.
Like
So-
it's a lot of things.
They say it's your emotions. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
I knew like I feel like this batch was like definitely my
Emotions,
my
Yeah,
energy out.
even with the salsa, when
if
you
you're-
make salsa and
you're
it is
mad
hot,
and it comes up to
spicy,
get the-
You're mad.
estabas bien enojada.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
You've never heard that before?
I know, absolutely. I used
Say so,
to.
Brenda.
I used
Let
to-
me know.
I used to be a cook. I used to be a cook at a taqueria, and like when I would make salsa and it would come out like really, really spicy, like, ay, el cabrón está enojado, and I'm like, what? I'm fine. Like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
But no, going back on your saying about the tamales like right now, we asked people to send in questions. One of the questions that I got a couple of times was, what do you need to make a good tamal? Like, what are the essentials to make a good tamal?
First, okay, so my biggest thing is like, my mom does this sometimes too, like just to kind of cut back on like work. But I feel like you shouldn't. A lot of people source masa from the tortilla factories, and I frown upon that. I feel like even though my mom's tamales are really consistent,
Where else would you get it?
you make it yourself. You can get fresh ground corn, or you can get maseca. I personally use maseca. By the way, I need a sponsorship.
Okay.
Maseca, what's up?
Here.
But yeah,
You
like
can
I
reach
use.
her at Tamale _ Mami.
Is it? ¿Te
Tamale,
estás subiendo qué?
What?
¿Se te está subiendo?
Tamale, mami.
I said Tamale Mami.
Oh, you said it the other way.
Well, correct.
Anyway, but yeah, I use maseca. I mean, some tamale snobs frown upon that because they want you to use fresh ground corn, which is fine. But I'm in Houston, Texas. Like, I can't source that anywhere, honestly.
Right.
Like, I would have to be out there in these cornfields,
Yeah.
picking this corn, drying it out, putting lime on it. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So I use maseca. Another thing is that you have to take your time.
In what sense?
Take your time with everything. It's a long process, a very long process, especially if you're gonna do it by yourself, which I do.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to commit to it. You can't like stop what you're doing, go to the store. You have to commit to it. You
When
have
you
to
start,
take
you
your
have
time.
to finish.
You said 3 hours, right? For about 2 minutes.
Dang.
Yeah.
But okay, so you're saying 3 hours from the time you start mixing things and you're spreading, or 3 hours what?
3 hours. I want to say, okay, so today when I made these, it was like, okay, it took me like 2 hours to do everything, and then another hour and a half to put them in the pot and get them out of the pot. So it was like 3.5 hours. So I'm not even counting the time that it takes to put it in the, pot. No,
Wow.
to pot. Yeah, like to actually steam.
Oh, I got you.
And like
And
steaming
that's-
is like a different science to it. Like it's like,
You're constantly
one
having,
thing I don't know
You
anything
constantly
about.
have to check in.
yeah, it's like a weird, like I said, like anything can go wrong.
Right.
You could do everything the same you've always done, and something like, and she said earlier, like it's all about your energy, and it really is about your energy. If you're like anxious, if you're doubting yourself, like somehow it knows.
Yeah.
It knows.
The tamal
like,
knows.
The tamal knows. The pot knows. Like, bitch, we gonna come out mushy. That's literally me, like crying,
Like that one dude.
no me salieron.
No, that one guy, the one where's the dad and the son like showing his emotion? Like,
Yes. That's exactly how I feel.
What
Oh,
what
man.
happened your major fails? Do you have any fails?
no, hold on. Were you done with the essentials for?
Oh no, not yet. So just like get your stuff down. Depending on how you want your tamal. If you want it greasy, obviously use lard. I don't like to promote lard in my products. I don't use lard because both my parents are diabetic.
Okay.
So I've been trying to get away from like that stuff because I mean, even though it's so good.
Yeah.
I was about to say,
So
like,
what would
that's
you
all I
substitute it
know.
with? What are you substituting with?
Shortening.
Okay.
So it's funny because like the only tamal place that I actually like in Houston doesn't use lard either.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, that's something I'm going to incorporate in mine. My mom uses both. It depends on her mood.
Okay.
And it depends on who she's making it for. Like I said, like you got to cater to the clients.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yes, just yesterday my friend was like, do you make them greasy? Because that's all I eat. And I was like, well, I guess I'll make you some greasy ones, but that's not like, I like a light, airy one that I don't want my mouth to be filled with, you know, like I just don't want that. And
So I'm guessing the greasy ones are lard?
yeah.
Okay.
Or they put a lot of lard in it.
Oh.
And then it's just like a lot of stuff. Like the more fat and more moisture you put in your masa, the longer it has to steam.
Oh,
Like it's a lot of stuff. Like it's science. It really is science.
And you learned of it as you were doing it, or is this something you already knew, or did your mom teach you this?
Like I knew a couple. Like I picked up a couple of things. Like observing my mom. Like with anything. Like with anything my mom made. Like whether it be rice or tortillas, whatever. Like I would just watch her. And with tamale, since we all made them together, because it's really a communal thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people ask me, like, is it really, like, do they really just make them for, like, festivals and, like, holidays? I'm like, yes, it's a season for us.
Because it's so labor
It's
intensive.
so, it's so labor intensive. There's a reason why people don't specialize in them, or, like, there's not that many people that specialize in them because it's such a long process. And if they do, now it's like there's a machine.
It's so funny that you say that. I know a couple. It's a husband and wife who also make tamales, but that's all they do. Like that's all they do, and they even said that at one point they considered buying a machine, and they just
It's not the same thing.
It's not the same. It has to be by hand, and it's a super labor intensive.
So, working with food and Mexican culture, poquito de aquí, poquito de allá, would have been, I'm sure, there's been major fails. Because that's what makes us us.
Definitely. And I
Okay.
had one recently.
Is it a good story? Are you embarrassed by it? Would you like to share it? I would like to hear.
I mean, it was pretty embarrassing just because it was for my pop-up.
Oh.
Like I literally had to troubleshoot like
Was it your
all
first
of my
one?
recipes. No, it was my third one.
Okay.
I had to troubleshoot all of my
How
recipes.
many?
It was 3. So I was able to troubleshoot 2 of them, and the other one was actually tamales. And it was just like, I don't know what happened, but I was like, some of them were coming out perfect, and the other ones were just coming out like bad in the same pot. From the same pot. So it's like a weird thing. Like I said earlier, like it's energy. And I was very nervous for this particular pop-up. Like this is the first time I had actually popped up.
You're making an impression. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it was just like,
Had your 2 other pop-ups been a success?
yes.
So it was clean. So even then, you weren't a little bit more comfortable with it?
I don't know what it was. I think it was the fact that I was doing it with the people that I work with as far as the brand goes.
Okay.
The brand that I work with, the DJs. And I guess I was just intimidated by that because it was like, I know.
But they had tried it before.
Yes.
It's one of those
but
things
not
where
everybody.
Not only are they promoting her, they're helping her out, but then she's part of the brand.
No, like I was gonna say, like maybe you should have been a little more comfortable because at least they knew that hey, she does make good stuff. But she's saying that not everybody had tried it. So.
Yeah, not everyone had tried my stuff before.
Yeah.
There's just been like a couple people. But yeah, so it was nerve-wracking, and I guess like the pot could feel it, so they're just like, But yeah, so that was pretty embarrassing, but it was like, why are you being so hard on yourself? Like, like the flavor's there, like it's okay. Like everyone has their off days, which is true. Like you're not gonna be perfect all the time.
Right.
Like there's sometimes where you're gonna mess up, especially with like Mexican food. I feel like Mexican food is probably the most passionate food that there is, and it takes a lot from you. It takes your heart from you. Like you have to put your love into it. You have to. If not, it's not going to come out right.
Right.
I think that's why my mom was such a good cook, because she put her love into everything she made.
Aww.
So I mean, yeah, feeding what, 8 people?
I would say more because
9.
her siblings
9?
plus
Herself.
Oh, herself. Sorry.
But they're not
But funny enough though, like a lot of times whenever the moms are cooking, like they never sit down.
Yeah, they're calentando tortillas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, but I mean,
That's what I was gonna talk about earlier. Like the fact of what you're saying about being one person, like that's awesome. And like when you said that you were just one, I was already amazed at that point. Because again, the memories that I have about tamales is when I would go to Mexico and show up, and like it was a Christmas thing. Like you said, it's a communal type deal. Because all I remember, and I don't remember, I never made them. Because like I go and play and all those guys or whatever.
Really?
But yeah.
We're so surprised.
But I'm outnumbered here. Guys, can you help me out here? Like, no, but yeah, so you'd see all the women and stuff, and they like, one person would be laying it out, one person would be putting the meat or whatever, and one person would be stacking them in the pot. So that's great. You know, props to you. Yeah, big time, because to be one person, I mean, damn.
Yeah.
Make your own salsa, you make your own tamales, you make your own tacos. And you said, okay, so you mentioned you have 3 recipes at each pop-up. So what are those recipes? And how many do you have total? I mean,
I usually only run like 3 recipes, but like my first one, I did 3 different dishes. So I made flautas, but I made, I call them the Rick Ross because I
love the names you have.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
By the way, I think that's what makes you like stand out.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, that is, like everything I do, it has to be an homage to something. And I want to incorporate everything, my culture and like my love of music and hip hop especially. Like,
yes, I love it.
So the flautas are actually lemon pepper flautas.
Lemon pepper flautas.
Wow.
And you call them Rick Ross.
The Rick Ross because lemon pepper on my wings. Yeah. And then also like the reason why I picked Rick Ross is just because he's in the restaurant industry, like with his entrepreneurships. He has some franchises, Checkers, Rallies, and Wingstop. He has
Wingstop, that's what it was.
Yeah, he has I think he has stock in there. I don't think he owns them. He owns a couple because it is a franchise.
There was somebody who owns part of a franchise. Some rapper in Atlanta. It might have been him. I thought it was him. Anyway.
But he's from Miami.
Oh, that wasn't. It was somebody in Atlanta because like wings is a big thing there. Like it was something on some.
Did you say wings?
Wings. Wangs.
Wangs.
No, that's how they said it. So wang. It was strippers and wings, and like he was owning like a franchise in it. It was some rapper.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, the names are freaking awesome.
Yeah.
What was one of them that I saw was El Chapo.
Yeah.
What's that one?
That one is actually dos mini tortas or lonches, wherever part of Mexico you prefer to call them. I call them tortas because that's what I'm used to because I used to go to Reynosa and eat tortas.
Okay.
But they're little mini bolillos with, I actually changed the recipe because I had to troubleshoot. Okay. So I just used filet mignon and I chopped it up and I just grilled it, sauteed it, and then I topped it off with like my slaw, which everyone fucking loves my slaw, which is ridiculous. It's just freaking cabbage and a little bit of,
your own little thing.
You know what I mean? And then in like hogada and like salsa verde.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to put,
Why El Chapo? I need to ask that.
Okay, so like, you know, like a lot of my influences is to kind of take a stereotype and flip it, especially with him. Like, you know, a lot of people have like, you know, he's a bad guy, but rappers glorify him and want to be like him because, you know, he was so good at what he did and he was able to escape, you know, like he's
from the bottom to the top.
But it is like, you know, like that escapist, like escape artist thing, I feel like is very much deeply rooted into Mexicans. I feel like we find a way to adapt and escape our problems and struggle.
Build the fucking wall.
The ingenuity.
Yeah. We're Mexican ingenuity.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. But with him, it was like some people have this, you know, either he's a monster or he's like a Robin Hood.
Yeah.
So it was just like, okay, let me just use this moment to like, okay, El Chapo. So
take the stereotypical thing and own it.
Yeah.
That type of.
And plus people find it funny. Like people, like, cause I have like in my underground cocina, I use these long toothpicks and I put like pictures of the name of the whoever I use or whatever. And people will laugh. They're like, is that El Chapo? Like, is that seriously? Like, it's funny. And it just like, I feel like in branding, I feel like a lot of people fail to always put their brand on everything. And I just want to make sure that I always put my brand on everything. And I want people to know that I'm serious about what I do, but I definitely like, I'm having fun with it.
You have a sense of humor.
You put thought behind it. You put your own in it. What else do you have? You have El Chapo. You have
Rick Ross. I have a Frank Ocean taco that I actually did for like the anniversary of Blondes. The tortilla's green. I dyed the corn tortilla green, which is like a neon green. It's a shrimp taco, but it's tapatio shrimp.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's spicy, like, yeah.
I like that. Okay.
And then I have...
I like how she directed me like it's spicy. Because I caught out about it.
And
We'll
then
see.
gordita that I call Fat Pat.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's barbacoa. It's like the barbacoa itself. It's like ancho and coffee rubbed, and then I
Love it already.
braise it for a long time, and I just put like queso fresco on it and serve it with some cilantro and some salsa verde.
Okay.
So it sounds, I mean, I know there's more menu items, but I want to jump to this. It sounds like, all this stuff sounds like it should be in a restaurant.
I was saying food truck or something.
Not
So everyone
either.
keeps telling me you need a food truck, but the thing is, like,
too
I
much.
just don't want a food truck.
Really?
No.
It's, I mean, it's low overhead compared to a restaurant. So it'd
Yeah,
definitely be
but it's
respected
still a
stuff.
high overhead.
Yeah.
Because you have to think about maintenance, and I feel like
It's tough, man.
you know, like I thought about food truck for a long time. Like
Yeah.
even before I moved to Houston,
Even a small one.
I wanted a food truck. But then being in Houston, and I was just like, you know what? Like, and I saw a lot of mobile kitchens. I see a lot of people popping up in other people's kitchens. I was like, that's like perfect because you don't have to commit to brick and mortar. You don't have to commit to parking your truck somewhere. Like, I feel like with a pop-up kitchen, like it just, if you can create a buzz around you,
Yeah.
people will show up, and it just,
More accessibility.
yeah. And then also like, because my brand is linked to the DJ brand, I'm always in venues that have music. So it's perfect for me because like that's something I've always wanted to incorporate with my food.
That's
because
true.
it's like, my food is a mood. It's definitely a mood. Like it needs to have a soundtrack to it,
Yeah.
definitely. Like for you to enjoy it and be like, okay, like this is dope. Like, you know, like I want it to be surrounded with music because it is
It goes with
inspired.
Yeah.
It's inspired by music and stuff like that. Inspired by different people and my culture and stuff like that. Yeah.
So what's another menu item that caught your eye?
Well, what's your favorite one?
My favorite one so far.
Whether to make or to eat.
So I mean, okay. So I actually I had an ODB. I call it the ODB, the Old Dirty Bastard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm a very big Wu-Tang fan.
Okay.
But it's still like, when I first made it, it was good, but I feel like it still has more work to do, which I already know what I'm going to do in my head. But I feel like that's going to be my favorite thing to make.
By the way, if you ever need to test something,
I definitely
you
need
can
a
call
guinea pig.
me.
But yeah, I definitely need a guinea pig. And I'm actually working on setting up an R&D dinner to where like I basically set up to invite a couple people that come to the pop-up or y'all.
R&D?
Yeah, research and
Research and
development.
development.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just to kind of like work on steady menu.
Test
But
all you
people
want.
like that I've noticed something. People like that I have like a rotating menu, but people also like recognizing a dish and being like, I want that.
Yes.
It creates the McRib effect where like
Yeah.
it's a limited time offer, so
Yeah.
they know that. Oh, I guess, how do you handle that? Whenever you handle a pop-up, like, do people know in advance what they're gonna
Yes,
get?
I put a menu out prior, which I was supposed to do today, but I didn't. But I put a menu out prior to my popping up. I usually like to do it 2 days before.
Yeah.
If not, if I have more time, I'll do it before that. But I definitely put it out there before. That way people know what they're coming to if they actually read the menu, because I feel like a lot of people don't read the menu.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everything distracts them. Like,
Well, they
But-
just see food.
Yeah.
No, but then it creates that effect where like somebody who's been hoping to maybe see this one item, they'll finally see it. Like, oh,
Yeah.
they gotta make it to that event because they're gonna get their dish.
yeah, so like it's like people have liked those menu items, and they're just like, I'm gonna come back to that. Are you gonna have that this time around?
So your favorite, was it to make or eat the ODB?
Okay, so the ODB is a carne guisada taco, or was. It's not gonna be that anymore.
Okay.
It is still gonna be carne guisada, but carne guisada and avocado is like my favorite combination. That's my favorite taco ever.
You can't eat avocado.
I'm allergic to avocados. I've never had it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know.
I
feel
came
like I'm
close.
missing out.
I came close to breaking up with my wife because she doesn't like avocado. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I have a problem with that because I wish I could eat it.
It's funny
Well,
because
that's
I
o-
actually
that's
have a friend that's
acceptable.
allergic to avocado.
Yeah, avocados and bananas.
Like
I
that,
love
that's
bananas.
acceptable.
I
You
miss it.
like it, but you're allergic to it.
I
She
never
just doesn't.
had avocado. I never had it
Oh.
So how do you know you're allergic?
because it's the high levels of latex in both.
Oh.
Yeah. Like I didn't think I liked it, so I took it off. But then I had the reaction of it.
Oh, okay. So you actually have tried it. Did you like it when you tried it?
I didn't fucking taste it because I was dying.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah,
That's the one that hurts the
I
most
feel
is bananas.
sorry.
I
No,
miss my bananas.
she's sorry not because of your reaction, because you haven't tasted it. She's sorry.
I know. I feel sorry for myself, dude. I go to Chipotle, and like, would you like? Well, I miss everything. Like, I feel like I miss out on everything. Ceviche, you name it. Like,
Why ceviche?
Other than avocado?
Yeah, like cocktail, shrimp cocktail.
Well, I don't like
Cocktail.
ceviche just because it's just the, I don't know. I never liked
You haven't
it.
had a good one. That's it.
Maybe that's what it is. Because I'll try sushi and stuff, but
Is it even sushi too? I have to go to like certain places. I go to Raw just because they have more variety without avocado. If I go to any other place, everything has avocado. And I don't like it. I just feel like I'm missing out on it. Ugh.
I love avocado. Like I'll slice avocado and just eat it like that.
I guess I can say I'm fortunate that I'm not allergic to it. If I am, then I don't really give a fuck. But yeah, I mean, that's just my favorite combination. That's always been. There is this.
I know you saw that avocado.
There's this taco place down in the valley called El Pato. It used to be good back in the day, not anymore. Kind of like
El Pato?
El Pato,
Oh, pato.
the duck. But that was like my go-to taco, like the carne guisada con aguacate. Like that's my favorite.
That sounds fucking awesome.
So yeah, it's gonna change. More coming soon. I'm probably gonna make it at this coming pop-up. But yeah, it's gonna change.
So speaking of which, when's the next pop-up? Where can people find you?
Thursday.
Okay, I was gonna say like let's drop a date, but yeah, we definitely won't be able to put this out by Thursday.
Anything coming up in the next 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So definitely I will be at Lily and Bloom the first and third Thursdays. That's what I have so far. And I will be at Dean's in October. Look out for that. And I'm also doing, actually I'm at Dean's twice in October.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working with 2 different brands. One of them being the one I work with them.
So when for people to find out where you're gonna be at, how can people look at your work or find out?
They can follow me on Instagram at tamalemami.com. Actually, it's Tamale.
I didn't mess that up.
TAMALE_MAMI.
Tamale Mami.
Yeah, and it's Tamale Mami. So
Sorry.
Tamale.
I know, I was trying to have a grammar correction. It's Tamale Mami. But no, I get the whole rhyming.
I guess we can talk about that packaging.
Dude, I love the whole packaging part.
Yeah, that's pretty
I
cool.
want you to what gave you the idea? I mean, it's
Did La Chapo give you the idea?
No, I guess
just nice. It's, like you said, a brick.
What's her name?
Maria.
Oh, Maria.
Yeah, it's my mom.
How much?
Your mom's flirting with me.
So the gold foil came to me, honestly. I interpolate a lot of lyrics, like, because I like write poetry and stuff like that, but I like to interpolate lyrics a lot. And Jay-Z had a song, and I forget what name of the song. I think it might have been, I can't remember.
What album?
It was 444.
Oh, okay.
I think it might be
I'm a bigger fan of his older.
Family Affair. I don't remember. I can't think right now because of the alcohol. But I like interpolated it to where it said like, my mom's in the kitchen making tamales lined with gold. And I was like, wouldn't that be dope if I like wrap my tamales in gold foil? And like, of course, Googled it.
Amazon.
And of course, I found some gold foil around here.
That's awesome.
So I was like, okay, we're gonna change this up. We're gonna do it gold because I'm gonna take pride in my tamales.
And it stands out because everybody has regular aluminum foil.
And obviously the sticker, the logo, it's not all me. I did source something.
Okay.
But definitely the name was me. Yeah, I just wanted to take that Doña stereotype that is associated with the tamales, which is not bad. You know, I love those women. But it was like, we're a new generation. We're Latinas, we're sexy, we can cook in the kitchen, and we can do it all. finding someone that can do both.
It's,
basically.
what's that style that they do where they do the hair like that and stuff?
The pinup?
Yeah. Oh my god, it's fucking sexy.
But yeah, like the pin, and the funny thing is like the pinup thing is more of a Cali thing.
Yeah.
And that's not really like a Texas thing. So I honestly really, if I could live anywhere, I would live in Los Angeles. I feel like that's the best, that's like a safe haven and a heaven for Mexicans. Because it's very, very much outwardly Mexican, not like an embarrassment, like, not, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not in pockets.
So our host is from LA, and that's one thing that she misses about home.
Yeah.
Because she says, she's like, I always thought Houston was very diverse and open, but she's like, no, like over there you can have rallies and it's just Mexicans wanting to be,
And it's funny because like a lot of people don't know this, but one of the first civil rights, I guess like court lawsuits or whatever within this school system for desegregation was in LA, and it was involving Mexicans.
Okay.
So like that's like a big thing to me. Like politically, Mexicans have been, or Chicanos have been bigger in LA than they have anywhere else, because like I feel like, I don't know what it is about LA, but like that orgullo, like you can I've never even been to LA, but I know that shit is live. Like it just by the way I see people posting on Instagram, by the way Tupac, like rapped about LA, like it was just like, damn, like why can't Texas be like that? Why do we have to be in pockets? Why do we have to flee to the border and make our little Mexico? That's what the valley is. Yeah. So I don't know. It's like, but anyway.
You think maybe it's because of the familiarity of just the name Los Angeles?
No.
No.
Because look at the valley.
I think it was a lot of Baja California that went up, or even like.
Yeah, I guess that has something to do with that too, because even like I feel like Laredo is maybe more Mexican.
All of that side of Cali is just all Spanish names, right?
Yeah.
San Bernardino, like it's just.
But yeah, definitely because of the takeover. But I guess Texas had a different history with the Mexican stuff.
I think it was more resistant, and probably even because
of the Louisiana Purchase and all that stuff.
Right.
And the Texas Revolution, I think it had a lot to do with that, but definitely like trying to incorporate as much Mexicanism into my stuff. But going back to the packaging, the salsa verde in that tube and the queso fresco in the little baggie, that came to me really randomly. Like last week.
Well, like
really?
Honestly, like this and the baggie, like I got it right away. This one threw me off a little bit.
Okay, so it's actually supposed to be smaller, but I couldn't find a smaller one.
Okay.
So we're still trying to work on that.
Okay.
So obviously that looks like crack rock or Coke, whatever, but more like crack rock.
Right.
And the tube thing, it's supposed to be like, it's also supposed to be like cocaine or whatever type thing. Because if you look on my Instagram, I have Tyrone Biggums from Dave Chappelle with a Tamale like that.
Okay.
The original picture is actually like him with a peanut butter jelly sandwich, like putting crack on it. But before they used to put crack in little tubes.
Yeah.
Little tubes, and that would, if I put in a little tube, like people would be like, "Where's them? I need more something."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is like the closest thing I could get to it. And again, I just want you to be like that. You know what I mean? So the whole point of it is to kind of treat it like it's that good, but also to take a stereotype that has always been negative about Mexicans, like we're all drug dealers and stuff, and flipping it and glorifying it for us just because no one else will, in a different way, because I still frown upon like all those like,
I think it's the hustling,
narcos.
The hustling heart of it. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't necessarily go all out with the drugging stuff, but just the hustle.
Yeah, the hustle. We're pushing.
Even with Chapo, like I don't think of him. Oh, many. Some do see him as a killer and the drug, whatever. But many see him as, like you said, the Robin Hood, the hustler. There was no job opportunities. He made it his own, and he ruled at it. Mm-hmm. Same thing with this. Like you're doing something that your mom instilled in you.
Yeah.
And you can easily go and work for any restaurant, which you have. You can easily go and learn somebody else's technique, which you've tried, but at the same time, you know where you came from, and you know where the hustle is, and you're doing
I'm curious, when you show up, and do you take your lunch, and does it look like this? Like, to work?
It's funny because, like I said, I just came up with this last week. And the first person that got this was one of the DJs I know. I don't work with him, but I took it to him, and he was just like, "Oh my god, I feel like a drug dealer." And I was just like, "That's the
point." Yeah.
And then like one of my coworkers was like, "April, I want tamales. I want to feel like a drug dealer. I want to feel like we're doing a drug deal right now. Sneak him to me." And I was just like, "Okay." I was like,
"And you got the product?"
But yeah.
You got the cash?
It was just hilarious, but yeah. But like I said, I just recently came up with that addition to it. I thought it was dope. Some people were like, I felt like people were going to be apprehensive about it.
But I
was just like,
art.
you know,
honestly,
I would deliver. I have delivery services, dude.
Like, no, when I see it, like honestly, I think of art because it's you're re-embodying something else and make it into something.
I just feel like packaging is everything when it comes to a brand.
Presentation, yeah.
And especially with food, like presentation is everything. And I just thought it was funny.
I'm really excited for you. I really am, and I'm looking forward to going to one of these pop-ups. Where did you say? You said the first and third Thursday.
Well,
where?
Lily and Bloom.
Where's that?
That's off of Main Street downtown.
What
so you know where Etro is? It's a bar.
Okay.
You know where Etro is?
Yes.
Like right next to it.
Okay.
So we'll put all those dates and links to your social media on the description, and that way they can find you. So
dope.
Lily and Bloom first and third Thursday, and then
in October I have 2 spots with Dean's, but I don't know specific dates because I can't think right now.
And Dean's is also a bar?
Yes, Dean's is also a bar. It's a spooky place too.
Really?
Why spooky?
You've never been there before?
No.
Where's it?
Apparently it's a ghost. Yeah, it's downtown. It used to be like a clothing store, then a credit store or something like that. And there's something with the elevator, like some ghosts. I don't really know the whole story.
Okay.
I just work there.
I remember the little ghost store in the spaghetti warehouse.
Oh yeah, there's a ghost store in the Dean's too, in the elevator.
Okay.
The elevator that doesn't work.
It still doesn't work.
Doesn't work now. They just use it like they've cut it open and people can sit in there.
Fuck that. Sorry, I'm good.
Which is crazy because we're gonna be there in October. So
yeah, that is pretty cool. Actually, I'm whatever. You know what? Let me drink enough.
But yeah.
You won't.
I won't.
Can we break into it? I mean, you brought it for demonstration
they're
purpose,
good.
Right? They have to be good.
Hopefully they're good.
They're gonna be good, or they're gonna be like,
If you do edit that out.
Yeah, let me heat it up. Or should we want that? I'll heat it up.
Yeah, they've been cold now. They're cold now. And it's funny because I usually have like my burner with me and my comal with me.
Yeah.
I was gonna bust it out and like set it up here.
that would have been cool, yeah.
I think they're good because I'm like really nervous.
What's a good temperature for heat them up?
Girl, you've had them all before.
Let's try to get the science down. Behind
So I'm still like working on everything. So I mean, I had my recipe down, and like we were talking about earlier, like energy and like these past. So this last time before this time, I did like the perfect batch. I was okay, I'm better now.
Yeah.
And then today I was like, oh god.
Why?
I don't because they didn't all come out the way. It was just like weird. But I felt like the pot felt my energy, my nervous energy, and my self-doubt.
Get rid of that though.
So you say, all right. So you say the pot, and what I remember is there. My most recent memory serves is like what you see at like Sellers Brothers and stuff. Right now I can't remember whatever I saw at home in my mom's.
What do you mean?
Like, what is the pot? Like, is there anything special to the structure of it? Like, how's that layout? Like,
It's a deep pot. It's just a deep pot, right?
It just depends on what kind of pot you use. Like, so, like my mom barely started using some pots, which I'm using, which has like the separation with the water, and then it like levels
Okay.
it up, and then whatever you steam. my mom always put foil in the middle and left like elevated the tamales so that they could steam with the water. Like it's weird. Like everyone does it differently.
Okay. Well, then that's what I'm getting because I have no idea. Because again,
So mine's just a stump pot, like the same pot that you would use for crawfish.
Okay.
It's the same pot you would use.
So your tamales are touching the bottom.
They're not.
They're not. Why not?
They're not supposed to.
Well, no, but I get that. But how? How are they not? Like you
Because, like I said, it's elevated.
With-
It's a stump pot.
Okay.
It's like a little. It's like a liner that you
I'm
put.
ignorant when it comes to the kitchen. I just eat.
So there's
Okay.
a liner.
Okay.
So okay, you've bought like a. You've never bought like a pots and pan set before.
I eat. Obviously.
Tienen una parrilla abajo.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I got
Like
you.
it's a.
I got you. I was just bullshitting. I knew you were talking about.
Shut the fuck up.
It has holes in it so the steam comes out.
Can you draw me a picture?
But yeah, it's just like
There. That's your job.
Okay.
I didn't bring
so,
you the
there's two different kinds.
You eat with your hands. I was gonna ask you. You said you only use red.
Yeah, I don't do green.
What does that mean?
There's two different. There's levels to this.
Okay.
So I do tamales rojos, not verdes. So it's gonna be red inside, not. So I use.
I thought the whole red and color was the type of meat that they use.
Yeah. No. That refers to this type of sour seasoning you use.
Oh, okay.
So how do you make it red?
So I use dry only, and you can do like a paste. So depending on the chilies you use.
Okay. So you added chili to it to make it red.
And there's two different types too.
So I judge a tamal by the masa on the banana peel.
That's not a banana peel.
I know,
I call it a banana peel because I'm like,
but she can have bananas.
Yeah, really, man.
oh my
God.
gosh. Okay, this is good.
All right. You're gonna dig in?
No, I've already had too many. Okay, that's
So
another thing.
you know-
My body by tamale over here. I need to get a trainer.
Bodies by tamales.
You know how many tamales I've had in the past week? Oh Lord.
But you have to though, right?
Yeah, because you have to taste them. And I'm like, sometimes they won't even be cooked all the way if I want to eat it. Ay, fuck it. Does it taste good? Por eso estamos como estamos.
Is that a fat joke?
It's me.
Legit. No, okay. I already had.
This jalapeno.
It doesn't.
Do you not like
No
spicy?
pica. Sissy.
Okay, put him in there. It's really good, April. Good job.
It's funny because when we met, like she walked in and she's like April, and like I kind of paused and she kind of like double took. It's like April's not your typical.
Tamale
And
person.
she's like, I'm not a Maria. I'm not a
I said my name is not Juan, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love them. I can't wait to try the tacos.
We're good.
The chapo,
We're really good. What are you talking about?
tortas.
I'm expecting another
Hold on,
half
hold
dozen.
on.
What else? So you have tacos, tortas.
I do everything. Like
You have a plate for enchilada recipe?
I'm gonna do some enchiladas
Oh my
that I
God.
do. It's like a poblano crema.
Because I know you've done some on your personal page. Because I didn't realize you were a cook.
What is it? I don't know how you stop.
Because I'm trying to talk.
She didn't like them.
Yeah, girl.
Please hold.
But yeah,
You would put on your personal page that you were going to culinary classes.
That's really good.
Because you would have little platitos, and I don't know if they were postres or actual dishes, but you had your own little.
yeah. I mean, I've always cooked. But it's always been my thing. Like I've always cooked. I've always loved cooking. It's something that I've always wanted to do. At some point, I wanted to open a ramen shop. When I was in the valley,
Oh my God.
like
I love
it's
ramen.
so I actually have a recipe for ramen
Really?
that I'm going
Ramen
to.
is not,
that I'm
ramen,
gonna
pho,
do-
like all that stuff is not easy to cook. Like it's hours.
I'm going to. I have a recipe to fuse ramen and I guess pozole together.
Wow.
Apparently it already exists.
Research and development
No
department
way.
is right here.
No way.
Supposedly. That's what my friend said, like at Zika or something, ramen place. I don't know what it's called. But I was
Ramen
like, it's
and
probably not gonna be
pozole.
as good as mine. Because I'm gonna do it like, I think I'm gonna do
But
it
how
as
can you
October.
fuse those? Because they're very different flavors.
Not really. Like I had
'Cause it's
never
pork
in my
broth.
mind. I never imagined it, but when
guess
she
so.
said it, it didn't surprise me.
So actually,
crazy.
like, there is, okay, so I don't really care for pho, but I found a pho that I liked, and it's a different type of pho. See, that's what I'm talking about. It still tastes good,
So
though.
good though.
Anyway,
The cheering one?
I'm good.
You gotta tell me twice.
But yeah, so
I was just being courteous.
they're both like pork based. If you have like if you like that type of ramen, and then like for me, it's like with the Vietnamese pho that I'm talking about. I forget what it's called, but that flavor of menudo or pozole, it's super intense. Like I feel like it's the same thing. I'm like, oh my god, and it's funny because like Vietnamese food has a lot of the same flavor profiles that like Mexican food does. They use a lot of the same flavors, like cilantro, all that stuff.
Yeah,
like
they
it's
do.
crazy. That's why I love Vietnamese food so much, but I really don't care for pho. But that particular type of pho, it tastes like menudo, but they put all types of stuff that I don't eat.
Like vegetables, right? It's
No.
more vegetable
No,
based,
like-
no?
No, well,
Parts.
pho is
Parts.
chicken broth or beef broth.
You mean like,
Parts that I'm not gonna eat of an animal.
gotcha.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what they put. I don't know, but
As long as I don't know what it is and it tastes good, I'll eat it.
yeah, it's just.
And I'm not that open to it. I like ramen, but he's been more of a pho person. He's tried taking me and it's just like, I'll eat it because
See, I like ramen because it has like depth of flavor to it.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
they're-
like the fact
and I
of
feel
eating
like pho
seaweed.
does
It's
it.
like seaweed is like what I never expected it, and then I'm sitting there
I
eating a leaf.
love seaweed. That
Good.
flavor.
The bamboo is good too. Like
Yeah.
it's almost funny because like the bamboo itself doesn't have any real flavor, but then when it just absorbs everything from the broth, it's so good.
Yeah, like, but yeah, that's my next project. I mean, I had this idea for that, like ramen pozole for a long time. It first started off as doing a fusion between caldo de res and ramen. I was
Okay.
like, you know what? I was like, let's do pozole and ramen because I feel like those are the most like, I feel like those flavors would go good together, and then with like carnitas on top.
That's insane. Like I'm excited about that. That's
Yeah,
freaking
I'm
awesome.
probably gonna do that for October.
Okay.
Because it's like gonna be the perfect temperature
happens
outside.
No. I'm give me my number. As soon as
Guinea pig.
yeah, no, dude, I'm there. I
It really is.
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
I can't believe you're not coming. I can already hear it. Take me up.
But yeah.
Have you done pop-ups at Lily and Bloom and Dean's?
Yeah.
Both of them? So
Yeah.
you're kind of used to the environment, you're
Yeah,
what to expect?
I've always been used to the Dean's environment because lately I've been used to it just because I am in charge of like merchandise for the DJ brand that I work with. So the spot where I post up and did my pop-up, the same spot that I popped up and did the merchandise.
There you go.
So it's definitely like something familiar to me. So I'm comfortable there. So but
So I'm gonna try to put it on the cup, but
yeah.
so you have a very nice presence on social media.
Presents.
Presence.
Oh, it's like 50. I only have 50 followers.
Well,
On her business page or her personal page?
My personal page is more.
why is because you've had it longer.
Yeah, and like, it's really weird with social media. Like, a lot of people aren't just gonna follow you. You know what I mean? Like, you have to give people reason to follow you.
Right. I mean, just tasting it. I mean, that would be a reason to follow right there.
Yeah, but a lot of people haven't tasted my stuff. So people will follow me, like, if they see me doing my pop-up. Like, I've had people,
Right.
you know, I went from having like 12 followers to the 50 that I have now within the past couple of weeks because of my pop-up.
Yeah.
And like, because people like that I work with are like, okay, I'm gonna support you. Like, I'm gonna post your flyers everywhere. Like, you know, like just stuff like that. So you have to give people a reason to follow you.
Yeah.
And Yeah. I'm working on my presence.
Well, the other reason why I was saying it is I was curious about. Okay, there's no pictures of you on your Tamale Mami. Is there a reason for that?
I guess for now, I just want to keep myself away from it. Like, there is like maybe one, but I have my eyes covered. It's like that video. I don't know if you've seen the video.
I saw a video.
Yeah,
You
the
were
video. That's from my main page.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So, which I should have posted on my Tamale Mami thing, but I didn't.
What showed you hustling and working on it?
Yeah, so I have,
That's why I guess I associated with the business one.
Yeah.
so, yeah. So there's a picture, there's like a video of me, but I have my eyes covered, so it doesn't really. And I think the reason why, like, for now, I'm just kind of not disassociating myself with it online, but for now, I just want it to be like
Showcasing your food.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Because, I mean, as a woman, it's kind of hard. You know, a lot of times it's like, oh, you look that way, you don't know what you're doing. Or like, you know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, like, part of my hustle is going to be like being a woman and being like, hey, I had these tamales. Yeah.
I feel like once you get more comfortable with it, you'll embrace it.
Yeah.
And it's going to kick off even more just because you do represent, you are the embodiment of what you represent. You know, you have the whole Latina vibe to you, long hair, dark, you know, skin, and you're doing it on your own, you know. So we usually ask 3 questions to every guest.
Okay.
And I'm really, really excited about the first one.
It goes back to my whole interrupting about the music thing.
Yeah.
So we'll start off with that one. The one that we always ask is what song, and you can take a minute if you feel that you need to process a little bit, but what song describes you or your projects right now?
So definitely would be something probably no one really listens to.
Okay.
So I'm really big on like Griselda records and like Benny the Butcher. He has a song called
What genre is he?
He's rap.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big hip hop head. I'm actually working on a menu item with his name
I thought
on
she
it.
was gonna say album. I was like, man.
Actually, album coming soon. I was got the plug. So he has an album called The Plugs I Met, and it's about drug dealing and all that stuff. And there's this one song with Pusha T, and it's called 18 Wheeler. And it's definitely super motivating to me because, I mean, this is what I'm doing.
Okay.
And it makes me think of my mom, but also my dad, because my dad had a truck driving business.
Right.
Yeah.
And my grandfather had a truck driving business as well.
Okay.
And
He spoke to you.
yeah, and my grandfather was also, you know,
Hustler.
a hustler.
Yeah, there you
So it's just like that right now. Like that's probably what's wrong with me.
There's nothing wrong with you.
No.
I haven't been listening to this
Okay.
album in a long time.
Oh, there you
There
go.
you
I think that's what it is.
On the way home.
Yes.
You have it. You have the mentality, even on your personal page. Like I told you,
Yeah.
from the cooking to you have a big passion for music. The fact that you're doing this with food and then combining it, to me, it's like I love it. I feel like a little bit more seeing that I've never met you personally, but I followed you, and it's like this is the epitome of who you are. And the fact that you have doubts and I'm like, no, this is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
again,
it's-
surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
Like, with the right voices. You don't even have to see them every day. Pick up the phone and call somebody like who's just gonna be like, hey,
yeah.
just do it. Like, I don't know. I've been blessed with my, I don't have like close friends that would tell me this, but you know, I would say it out loud and I'm expecting you're crazy or why are you doing that? And it was like, no, that's a good idea. Like, you know.
But it's weird because like it's really weird because I'm like as far as like my talents and my abilities go, like I feel like I'm really confident in that area. But it's just been like lately that I haven't been.
I think it's always an
I think
obstacle.
it's like fear.
It's always an
'Cause I'm
obstacle
very
because you're taking what you're very confident at, but then even though you may
putting
be
yourself out there.
you may be like, I know I do this, I know I can do it, but at the end of the day, you still want to be received
Yes.
and accepted.
Yeah.
And it's the same struggles that I'm sure every entrepreneur goes through, because
that's what
even
you are, by the way.
even us.
Say it every day.
I'm a hustler.
There you go.
Drug dealer.
Legal though, we're legal.
Yeah. So like even us with one of the last
Pushing this
interviews that we
masa.
did. Huh?
I said pushing this masa.
Yeah. even us, like we got hit with being called creators, and we're like,
Yeah.
what? Like, I did the hair flip and everything. But it's true, right? So it's like, you know, we gotta embrace it and you know, be confident with this stuff, man. This is freaking good. Like
The detail, the attention to detail, the money in the cooking,
presentation, I love
it.
The names, I would have just said tacos.
But okay, so that's the reason why I didn't want to do that, because I feel like it gets lost, and I feel like and it feels so good when people will come up to me and like, let me take a Rick Ross, and I'm like, yes. You know, it just feels so good because it's like, I named that.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't Torchy's Tacos where they have names too, but these names mean something to me.
Shots fired.
That's shade. Sorry for that
going in
shade.
there no more.
Sorry for the shade. But yeah, like it means something to me.
Right.
So when people like order, like I just want people to know that like everything I've thought of, like this is something I've sat at home alone for the past, I don't know how many years. Think about it.
When did you say you have the event on Thursday? Where?
Yeah. Lily and Bloom?
This Thursday.
Yes, I think so.
Other question that we have is, where do you see Tamale Mami 5 years from now, or your brand overall?
Underground Cocina.
Underground Cocina.
Honestly, the whole point of this is it wasn't just for me. It was really for my mom, and it was really for La Raza. You know what I mean? Like, and I really want to take the like knowledge that I have working in the restaurant industry and giving it to people. Yeah. Because, you know, even being in Houston, like, you know, I feel like a lot of restaurants fail because one, they have fears, and then two, they just don't change with time. Right. And I feel like I get the whole, like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But at the same time, if you don't fix it, you're going to go broke. Yeah. And I feel like I want to teach my people that we can franchise what we have to offer, just like the same extent of Taco Bell and all those places. Like, they're making millions of dollars. Why aren't we making millions of dollars off our own cuisine? You know what I mean? Like, why aren't we doing that? And it's like, I want to give them something, a model, a structure that they can follow and like pass on.
I think it's even as simple changes, even as like a credit card reader. Like when I worked in the taqueria, like he had the taqueria and a food truck. There was no talk of a square or anything. It had to be cash. And there were times where like sales were lost because all the people had was a card.
Yeah, I mean, and now it's like, I don't even use a square. It's like Cash App, Venmo, like, but it's like, again, they don't know that language. And then also, like, I mean, other than that, it's like, you know, we have to get La Doña out of sending her man to go sell them. She can have her own puesto. Like, she can have her own thing.
In two places at the same time?
Yeah, she can do it. And then, like, also, like, a lot of people forget that ambiance is everything. People are paying for ambiance when they go to a restaurant.
Yeah, like we recently, where was that at? Remember that little restaurant that we went to?
Magnolia?
Like Magnolia area. We went to this little bitty restaurant, super small little Mexican restaurant.
It was like 3 tables.
I'm talking about,
Like
it was just 3. So we walked in there and we were going to record a podcast. So we're like, man, we got an hour and a half to kill. Let's have some breakfast. So I just looked up on Google review and like it was one of the highest reviewed on there. Walked in there, 3 tables in the entire restaurant. The kitchen took up half of the area. Yeah. It straight up reminded me of Mexico. Yeah. Like, it was awesome. And the food was great.
Yeah. It's like, it's all about ambiance, whether you want like a memory of Mexico or that, or maybe like a modernized version of it. Like, we just have to kind of change with the times. Like, if we want Mexico, okay, let's bring Mexico. But let's make it clean, let's refine it, because it's like, I feel like a lot of the times, like even with like stores like La Michoacana, like I feel like a lot of people don't like to go there because it doesn't feel clean.
Sanitary.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it. But I went to Fiesta in Bel Air recently, which is like weird because I don't really go to Fiesta. But I went to that one and it felt like an HEB.
Yeah.
Which is weird because not all Fiestas are like that.
Right.
But I feel like if more Fiestas were like that, I feel like.
That one's more ethnic though. It has a lot more from all over.
I haven't stepped into a Fiesta.
But I'm just saying like the cleanliness of it. Like, and it's like I want to get, because we're not dirty people. There's a reason why people source Fabuloso for everything, because you know this shit smells good. You know what I mean?
The purple Fabuloso.
You know, and there's a reason why we're, there's maids that are Mexican and all. You know, like there's a reason why we clean houses and stuff like that, because we're not dirty people. Like, but there's this perception, and like the perception comes from going to places like, unfortunately, let me check that out.
Right.
I haven't had a negative experience in Michoacan. Like I have like 2 by the house, but I live out in Humble.
And they're different.
Yeah, they're all different. It's just like maintenance.
Yeah.
And I guess that's something I need to like, consistency. Like we talk about consistency.
Yeah.
Like you have to be consistent. When you're a brand, you have to be consistent all across the board. And that's something I want to like teach.
The third question is, what's the third question? I got 2 out of 3, so you can't look at me like.
It's what with her industry. You make up a question regarding her industry.
No. See, I'm 3 out of 3.
I tried.
You mentioned right now one thing about it, but no. What is your go-to meal right now? Like, what's your cheat meal?
My cheat meal?
You always.
Oh, that's hard because I be cheating all the time.
It sounds like you're single.
I'm single.
I don't even know you are.
I am single. Yeah.
Because you want to?
I guess I don't really have time.
Okay.
I realize I don't have time.
Well, you only make time for what you want, and if you're not,
It's
really
true.
wanting it, then
Like I want to make time for somebody, but if they're not,
She's in
I don't
love
know.
with these tamales, you know what I'm saying?
But you know, I don't know. My cheat meal, honestly, I don't really know if I have a cheat meal. Like I just
you went.
No, okay, you had a feel in your kitchen.
No. I mean,
Or anything. Like, you feel bad about something family related, or you had a crappy day at work. What's going to make you feel
it's
good?
okay. Even more extreme. You're on death row.
what do I want my last meal
You're
to
on
be?
death row.
Oh,
What's your
Lord.
last meal there?
Oh, it'd probably be a carne guisada taco with avocado on a flour tortilla.
AKA ODB.
Yes,
Nice.
that's probably what it would be.
Okay.
That's
You know what? I know who to take to the pop-up. You going to have the ODB there
yeah.
Thursday? You think so?
I think, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm going to Snapchat it and send it to you. You see how?
I'm gonna be there. What are you talking about?
Right next to me.
All right.
I'm gonna be in front of you ahead of the line. Be like, look, bitch, like.
For real.
But yeah.
Before me.
That is another question that you were talking about, though, like something directly in the industry of the interviewing. I'm putting you on the spot.
What's a location or an ambiance that you would not be comfortable with off the start? You know,
honestly,
because you're just getting started. You're building your brand, and even with this, you did say you were kind of hesitant because you don't want to, put your brand under a bad light. But then when it comes to music industry, there's so many different, ambiances.
Yeah, honestly, right now, I feel like the downtown scene is perfect for me, but as far as somewhere else that I wouldn't be able to pop up, or I wouldn't feel comfortable, I'm not gonna pop up at a country bar.
Okay.
I don't feel like I'd be comfortable. Like, even though I listen to country music, I just feel like, they're playing George Strait on the radio or on speakers, and then here I come with my Rick Ross. Or I could make a dish called the George Strait. That's not a problem to me. You know what I mean?
Little Nas X?
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess, and which is something I'm afraid of. I don't want to put myself in a corner because I'm doing this.
Okay.
But it's at the same time, I feel like a lot of people in our age group gravitate towards it because it speaks to us.
Okay.
But a lot of times people are like, you have food, I don't care what it's called, just give it to me.
So are you sticking to just rap for your names?
I mean, no, because I mean El Chapo.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I have a dish called the Selena that I haven't put out yet because I'm afraid about that one.
Because even El Chapo is like it's still tight.
It's not even that. It's like I don't know how many people eat the thing that I'm gonna.
Okay.
You call it La Rosa.
Huh?
You could call it La Rosa.
No, but I'm saying it's gonna be called La Selena.
Okay.
No, I'm
Salinas.
curious. Can I ask or no? You're not gonna answer?
So in the valley, like the concha burger is really big, or was really big.
Okay.
So I'm making concha sliders, but I'm actually gonna make the concha myself because there's no such thing as a mini concha in Houston.
Right.
I don't think so. I've tried looking.
Desserts. I'm still waiting for my concha.
Guest. She's a baker.
So there's a friend of ours who we interviewed. She has a dessert shop. And she
I've
said,
been to it before. I've been to it before, yeah.
Okay, Jen. She went to high school with us, and she said that she was gonna make a concha recipe. So you may have you may have a client over here that could
But yeah.
She said that she had a really good concha recipe. So
Okay. We'll see.
Going back to what we were talking about with Jen, they were not happy with the conchas. They're not really fans of conchas because of its dryness.
Yeah, but you have to change it to your liking.
Right. So I guess my question to you would be, is that why you want to make, not just the size of it?
No, I mean, yes, I want to make it because a lot of people have this misconception about the concha being dry. In the valley, they're not dry.
Well, I buy them, they're not dry.
Like, it just depends on where you go. Like, not all panaderias are made the same. Like, they don't have the same recipes.
Yeah, we go out of our way for ours.
You know what I mean? Like, and it being that I want to do it on... What was that? Anyway, it being that I want to make it, like, mini conchas because I want sliders.
Right.
I'm going to have to do it myself because that doesn't exist in Houston.
Have you ever tried making conchas?
I have not, but, I mean, I never made tamales. So,
that's awesome.
You know what I mean? Like,
have you baked anything?
Yeah, I can bake. Depends.
Yeah, man.
No, I can bake. I mean,
she looked at me and like, this bitch.
What did I say earlier? My mind is in English. If not, I'd be like, esta puta. But, yeah, I can bake. I'm not great at decorating. I'm horrible at that. But it's funny because I used to make marranitos.
Okay.
Because that's my shit. Marranitos are my shit.
They're good.
And my dad was like, are you going to make marranitos again? Like, yeah, that's my shit. Yeah, same jam. But, I mean, I'm really scared with the conchas because my mom used to make conchas when she was younger.
Okay.
She made them when she was younger and she would sell them with my grandmother.
That's amazing. I would like to meet your mom one day.
So
where is your mom? Here or in the valley?
She's in the valley.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you here by yourself or
Yeah.
Really?
Doing it all by myself.
Really?
Yeah.
So
and it's funny because Juan, and Juan's like he's only been my only like source of Mexican.
Really?
And I always tell him that I was like, because we like we didn't talk for a while.
Okay.
And I was like, when we finally talked again, I was like, you're my only Mexican friend. I missed you. Like, yeah, so.
That's weird. I haven't seen him since high school. So that's a long time. But, social media keeps us all in touch.
Yeah.
And that's, like I said.
I saw him like a month ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. He makes me feel like I don't go out a lot. But we just have different,
Whatever. He's always like, oh, we're going to meet up. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're going to meet up. And then, nope, nothing.
No. Calling you out, Juan. Anything else, man?
Is there anything else you'd like to cover? No?
Thank y'all so much.
No, thank you. Thank you for coming on.
So this one wraps up tonight's interview with April Garcia with Underground Cocina, aka Tamale Mami.
Oh, thank you again.
Thank you.
And I hope you enjoyed it. It wasn't too bad, was it? Okay. All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.